Chapter 787. Captain, you should go back too. The army is so busy. There are still a lot of things to deal with. It doesn't matter. I've already asked for leave from the captain. When your injury is almost healed, we'll go back together. That's good. That night, during dinner, Qing Haidong told Dr. Fan and Nurse Xiao Li about what had happened. What about Ichuan's condition? It's okay. I asked Dr. Wang in the evening. Ichuan is out of danger. The next thing to do is to rest. In a few days, he can get out of bed and move around, Qing Haidong said. Okay, we'll go back tomorrow. In fact, they didn't want to stay here at all. Although there were 4 big tile-roofed rooms, one was for the kitchen, one was for the patient, and one was for the female comrade. He was a dignified attending doctor of a famous tertiary grade A hospital and could be considered a famous expert, but he actually had to sleep on the sofa in the living room. In the past, wherever he went, he was received with high standard. He had never received such treatment. In addition, he fell last night and was frightened by Qing Haidong today. He was a little angry, but he couldn't vent his anger. He could only suppress it. Finally, he could leave. I've troubled you during this time. When Ichuan's illness is cured, we'll visit you another day to thank you. You're welcome. This is what we should do, Dr. Fan said with a smile. He was quite pleased with those words. That's settled then. Tomorrow morning, I'll arrange for someone to take you back. By the way, I'll take the medical vehicle back with me. Okay. Dr. Fan agreed without hesitation. This was what he had hoped for. The next day, Dr. Fan, Nurse Li, and 2 other soldiers left the mountain village together. Only Qing Haidong, Xing Ichuan, and another soldier were left in the small courtyard. Wow, we're finally out of here. In the medical vehicle, the beautiful nurse surnamed Li said. She had only stayed in the mountain village for 2 days, but it was enough for her. She spent every day with a few men and was cooped up in the house. There was nothing for her to entertain herself with, not even Wi-Fi. This was a mountain village, and there was nowhere to go. It was indeed incomparable to the metropolis where she worked and lived. It was really boring for her. Director, how did Xing Ichuan save that Dr. Wang? This question had been bothering her for the past few days. When she came here, she was on the brink of death, and her life was hanging by a thread. It seemed that she was about to die, but in just 1 day, her vital signs had stabilized. This was the effect of taking an elixir. She really couldn't figure it out. It should be the drugs he used, Dr. Fan said. What a pity. He sighed. Qing Haidong, that idiot, doesn't even know what those drugs mean. It's a huge reputation, a high profit, and a chance to make a meteoric rise. Of course, he couldn't say these words out loud. Captain, you're thinking too much, Xing Ichuan said. Even if he doesn't want any fees, we have to ask for it. This medicine is very important for us to carry out special missions. Have you thought about how the other party will explain this matter to the team? Xing Ichuan asked. If this medicine is introduced to our team, it must be tested by relevant professional organizations. If it is suitable, it will be equipped in batches. How to do that? Ask Dr. Wang for the prescription? Does that mean we have to ask him for the medicine? What if he doesn't want to give it to us? After hearing these words, Xing Ichuan was silent. These questions indeed had to be considered. The other party had such magical medical skills, but preferred to stay in this small mountain village. He certainly did not want to cause too much trouble. Once these things were known by some people, he was afraid that they would use all kinds of methods to put pressure on Dr. Wang. This would bring a lot of trouble to the other party. He had saved his life, but it had caused so much trouble. He really could not do that. Then we'll do it through personal means, Xing Ichuan said. If there's a problem, I'll shoulder it. Why should you shoulder it? Qing Haidong asked with a smile. Let me think about it, Qing Haidong said. I'll ask him what he means tomorrow. In the end, it still depended on whether the other party agreed or not. Well, okay. Well, don't think about it, Qing Haidong said. Go to sleep and have a good rest. Your priority now is to heal. Yes. At night on the mountain. Brother-in-law, how is the boy? He's fine, Wang Yao said. That's good, brother-in-law, Su Zhixing said. Is the antidote you gave me expensive? Expensive, of course, it's expensive, Wang Yao said. It was a licorice root. TSK, can it be mass-produced? Mass-produced? Of course not, Wang Yao said. What do you want to do? It's like this, Su Zhixing said. I want to equip our army with a batch of antidotes with this special effect. His idea was the same as Xing Yichuan's. Just name the price, Wang Yao said. Sorry, it can't be mass-produced, Wang Yao said. Although the antidote herb was only a low-grade licorice root, it took a certain amount of time to grow. It had to be grown in the spirit-gathering battle array Wang Yao had set up on Nanshan Hill. Forget it, Su Zhixing said. Small batches are fine too. Su Zhixing was obviously relying on him. A small batch is fine, Wang Yao said. I can give you a bottle a month. Chapter 788. So little? Su Zhixing asked. It's not Coke or soda, Wang Yao said. A small cup works when you need it. Okay, I'll pre-order it, Su Zhixing said. Okay, but try to keep as few people as possible, Wang Yao said. You know the rules here. No problem, Su Zhixing seriously said. I'll take responsibility if anything happens. They chatted for a while before hanging up. Thousands of miles away, Su Zhixing was still in the hospital. How was it? A man next to him asked. He agreed, Su Zhixing said. Okay, I'll give you a credit. The man patted Su Zhixing on the shoulder. Just treat me to a drink when I get better, Su Zhixing said. Also, only the two of us know about it. No problem, Su Zhixing said. It was another peaceful night. Unknowingly, it was September, and the Mid-Autumn Festival was approaching. Wang Ru and Du Mingyang had been busy recently, so they came to the house more often. They were about to get married soon, which was the top priority for the family. Wang Yao said Du Mingyang's parents were also very concerned about it. She's finally married. Zhang Xiuying exclaimed more than once. Finally, one of her children was going to start a family. It was Saturday. Du Mingyang and Wang Ru returned to the village. There are fewer and fewer people in this mountain village, Wang Ru said. The people chatting on the streets of the village were all old people. Young people don't live in the village, Zhang Xiuying said. They've already bought houses in the city. Speaking of houses, the price of houses in the county has risen sharply this year, Wang Ru said. Now, the price of some good places has reached more than 6,000 yuan per square meter. So expensive. Yes, Wang Ru said. Lianshan is a small county. A few years ago, it was one of the poorest counties in the country. The price of housing has suddenly risen so high. Many people in our unit regret not selling more houses earlier. If they had bought a year earlier, they could have made more than 100,000 yuan per house. Wang Yao sat at the side and listened to their conversation quietly. He had a house of more than 100 square meters in Lianshan County. It was originally for his sister to live in. Now that she was about to get married, she naturally wouldn't live there anymore. The house was temporarily vacant. The young people working in the factories in Lianshan County earn 3,000 to 4,000 yuan a month. The mortgage alone costs nearly 3,000 yuan. Basically, they don't have a month's salary. The high housing prices have ruined this generation of young people. Du Mingyang sighed. His situation was slightly better. After all, his family had some savings. Moreover, he had bought the house earlier and had some connections, so it was cheaper. However, people like him were still in the minority in Lianshan County. More people took loans to buy houses. The loans were very high, and many people's monthly salary was not even enough to pay off the mortgage. If you don't have any money in your pocket, how are you going to spend? Let's eat and chat. Zhang Xiuying prepared a sumptuous lunch. Oh, what a sumptuous meal! Du Mingyang said. Uncle, shall we have a drink? All right, let's drink some. After listening, Wang Yao went into the house and took out 2 bottles of wine. Your friend is really good. Du Mingyang sighed as soon as he saw the wine. Is it very expensive? But this bottle of wine costs at least 1,000 yuan. There are more in the house if you like. Bring 2 bottles later. Wang Yao said. He didn't drink. These were all brought to his father by his friends. He didn't know the price, but it was definitely not cheap. Just by looking at the packaging and the name, he knew that they were all well-known brands of white wine in China. Okay. Du Mingyang suddenly twitched. What's wrong? No, nothing. Xiaoru, what are you doing? Nothing. Wang Ru smiled. Come on, fill it up for you. Du Mingyang got up and poured wine for Wang Fenghua. I'll do it. You are a guest. Wang Yao smiled and took the bottle. He poured wine for his father and brother-in-law. Uncle, let's have a drink? Come on. The whole family gathered together, talking and laughing happily. They were very happy. After lunch and chatting with his family for a while, Wang Yao went back to the clinic. He didn't make an explanation on Weibo. He still had to see patients in the afternoon, but there were fewer people in the afternoon. There were only 3 patients in total. One of them was the injured soldier named Xing Yichuan. He walked with crutches and with the help of Qing Haidong. When he entered the room, his face was sweating. After 3 days of recuperation, his complexion had obviously improved a lot. You have not recovered from your serious illness, Wang Yao said. You need to rest as much as possible. I just feel that my body is going to rust from lying down all the time, Xing Yichuan said. I just want to move a little. After the 2 of them arrived, they waited for the last patient in Wang Yao's clinic to leave before explaining their purpose. Antidote. After listening to them, Wang Yao smiled. It turned out that they had the same purpose as Su Zhixing. We will keep it absolutely confidential, Qing Haidong said. You don't have to worry about the price. That's not the reason, Wang Yao said. This kind of medicine is not so easy to make, and someone has already reserved it. Someone has reserved it? Who? Qing Haidong and Xing Yichuan were stunned. You know this person, Wang Yao said. The one who introduced you. Su Zhixing? Yes, it's him, Wang Yao said. I have to satisfy his request first, so I'm sorry, Wang Yao said. Well, we didn't think it through, Qing Haidong said. Sorry to bother you. It's nothing, Wang Yao said with a smile as he pointed to Xing Yichuan. There's no rush. I'll take a look at him again. Okay. Well, he's very good, Wang Yao said after examining him. He'll probably be able to leave these crutches in a few days. Thank you for your help this time. You're welcome. In a restaurant in Haik, hundreds of miles away, eat slowly. Li Fang looked lovingly at his son, who was eating big mouthfuls of food in front of him. Well, Dad, the food here is delicious. Xiaoming replied with a smile as he ate. Well, if you like to eat, Dad will often bring you here in the future, okay? Okay. The little boy clapped his hands happily. Ring. Buzz. The mobile phone on the table vibrated. Looks good. It was a text message that seemed to be somewhat inexplicable. Li Fang looked carefully and took a deep breath. After dinner, Li Fang took his son to the beach. The little guy was particularly happy. In the past, he had been lying in the hospital bed for many years. It was very difficult for him to walk in the room, let alone come out to play. He thought that his body was too weak. Are you happy today? Yes, I'm very happy, Xiaoming said happily. Dad, will I be able to go to school when I get better? Yes, Li Fang said. A few years ago, he was trying to find a way to treat his son's illness. He had gone to hospitals in China and abroad. A year ago, he was trying to find a way to prolong his son's life. Basically, he did not have much hope for a cure. A few months ago, He was thinking about how to reduce the pain of his son's last days and make him a little happier. Now, his son was out of danger and was moving towards a healthy life. Then, he had to do what he wanted to do. I want to live well and live a different life with my son. This was the goal he set for himself. It was a goal that he had to achieve. This goal was the same as Jia Zizai's goal in the past. He had to leave the company. That night, Jia Zizai came to hike to see Li Fang. Have you thought about it? As you wish. Then should I say, happy working with you? Happy cooperation. The intention of cooperation was reached. The two temporarily stood on the united front. To what extent has Xiao Ming's illness recovered? His life is no longer in danger. The medical skills of the Dr. Wang you introduced are really amazing. Li Fang sighed sincerely. Of course. Jia Zizai smiled and lit a cigarette. He has more shocking things, but I can't let you know for the time being. Where is the boss? Jia Zizai asked. Chapter 789. At the seaside, near the reef beach, Li Fang said. Can't you be more specific? I can't be more specific. You know he doesn't trust me that much. He's on guard. Li Fang took a sip of tea. It's too tiring for a person like the chairman to live. He's always on guard against this and that. No one can be trusted. Jia Zizai exhaled a mouthful of smoke and said, Hey, do you think he has to be wary of the woman he's with when he's sleeping with her? If she kills him while he's doing something, he won't be able to enjoy himself. As far as I know, the chairman doesn't touch women, Li Fang said. Tisk, tsk. He doesn't drink, smoke, perm, or touch women. Hey, is he a eunuch? Don't talk nonsense. He has a beard. That may also be fake, Jia Zizai said. I think he should have someone he trusts very much. Who? How would I know? It's good to know. Evidence. No intuition. Intuition? Damn, isn't that a woman's patent? Jia Zizai said. He knew Hu Mei's intuition was very accurate. Now that it came from a man's mouth, he was really not used to it. Hey, what is the chairman's ability? He's a kung fu master, a real master. I know this. He's almost invulnerable, and he has a strong resistance to toxins. His ability to listen to the wind is first class. What else? Can you finish it in one breath? Jia Zizai asked. He basically knew all the things Li Fang just said. That's all I know. Not as much as I know. You've been with him for so many years? Jia Zizai felt that Li Fang must have something he didn't say and held back. I think he should be good at using cold weapons, Li Fang said after a moment of silence. What do you think? I've seen his left hand. It has a thick callus. It's a callus that often comes from holding something, but it's not a gun. Left-handed. He's left-handed. But I remember that he usually uses his right hand to sign documents. This means that you're not observant enough. Usually, he would habitually curl his left hand into a fist, which is a conscious concealment, Li Fang said. It's easy to deal with him. Even if he was invulnerable, the bomb would have killed him. The key point is where he hid those things. If he died, those things would be exposed. Wouldn't we be done for? Jia Zizai said. This was what he was most worried about. If the hilt were to fall into someone else's hands, it would be equivalent to having a sword hanging over one's head at all times. Who knew when it would fall down? It was truly unsettling. I've mastered a part of it. Is there anything for me? Jia Zizai asked hurriedly. I don't know. I don't know. What do you mean? It's a hard drive, but I've asked a computer expert to try it. Not only is there a password, but the person told me that once you try to open the file, the hard drive will automatically erase the contents and send a message to someone, Li Fang said. Damn, what an old fox. Jia Zizai said. He asked you to keep the information, but you don't even know what's inside? Yes. Hey, what would you do if something happened to him? He asked me to give it to Ting Wei. Ting Wei? That's impossible. Jia Zizai shook his head. He and the chairman don't get along well. Not necessarily, Li Fong said. Do you know how many of these directors are in cahoots? How many of them are loyal to the chairman? Who would be loyal to him? Aha, Qin Hui has a few good friends, Li Fong said. Let's find them first and get rid of them one by one. In the end, only the chairman is left. That will be relatively easy. Since his son's condition had shown signs of improvement, Li Fong had changed. He had a new yearning for his life. For this, he would do anything. Tsk, you haven't been so ruthless in a long time. Jia Zizai sighed. So, let's start. Let's start. It was a moonless and windy night. It was the time to kill and set fire. Early in the morning, the sky was gloomy. It was drizzling. A week had passed. Xing Yichuan was able to get out of bed on his own without relying on crutches. His complexion was almost the same as a normal person's. Captain, I think we can leave now. Okay, let's go and tell Dr. Wang. The two of them went to the clinic to say goodbye to Wang Yao. Well, you can leave now, Wang Yao said with a smile. He prescribed them a few more doses of primordial spirit soup. Take this back and consolidate your corporeity. Thank you, Dr. Wang, Xing Yichuan said. If you need anything in the future, just let me know. Okay. Wang Yao just smiled and nodded. At noon, they invited Wang Yao and Xing Luchuan to have a meal at the restaurant in the village. At the dinner table, Cheng Haidong mentioned the medical expenses again. Wang Yao casually brushed it off. Since he had said that he would not charge any medical expenses, he would not go back on his word. After the meal, the two of them took their packed luggage and left. The car drove on the side of a very narrow cement road. Xing Yichuan looked at the continuous hills on both sides. Captain, this place is actually quite good. They were not stationed in the army's camp in the mountains. Well, it is quite good, Cheng Haidong said. The people are also good. The treatment had saved the life of one of his comrades, and he had not charged any fees. He admired his medical skills and ethic. Does he have some connections with the Su family? Su Zhixing called him brother-in-law, Cheng Haidong said. Hey, why do all the good things happen to that guy? Xing Yichuan asked with a smile. After a few days of contact, he had a good impression of Dr. Wang. Unfortunately, I don't have a sister, Cheng Haidong said. He also treated the one in the Su family, Cheng Haidong said. Well, she gave herself to him, Xing Yichuan said. I saw her once some time ago. She was like a fairy. She was a good match for him. On a reef beach in Dao, when are you going to show up? Cheng Haidong asked. Some of the work in the company is seriously lagging behind. Some customers are very dissatisfied. Wait a little longer, the man wearing a cap said. His face was a little pale. You have to take care of yourself, Cheng Haidong said. Well, you have to be careful when you come again, Cheng Haidong said. Don't be targeted. Okay. The man left the reef beach. After making a big detour on foot, he hailed a taxi and left. He thought his whereabouts were very secretive, but he had not expected to be seen. I didn't expect it to be him, Cheng Haidong said. Who is it? Uncle Li, the gatekeeper. Oh my God! Jia Zizai was stunned after hearing that. Are you serious? Are you sure? That's right. It's absolutely true. How is that possible? Jia Zizai scratched his head. He basically saw this old man every time he went to the company. He was a cheerful man in his 60s and could talk to anyone. He was just an ordinary gatekeeper. No one would have thought that he could have a one-way contact with the company's unfathomable chairman. You really can't judge a book by its cover. Investigate him. No one would pay attention to such a person. They wouldn't even think about him. After all, he was just a gatekeeper. He didn't even know anything about their company's main business. He hid it too well. Now that he had a target, he had a clear idea of what to do next. The investigation surrounding this Uncle Li was carried out quickly and quietly. One day, Zheng Weijun came to the mountain village. The construction of Nanshan Pharmaceutical Company was progressing smoothly. The main project was scheduled to be completed in October. The relevant procedures were also going smoothly. He came to take a look and visit Wang Yao. "Are you still so busy recently?" Zheng Weijun asked. "Fortunately, there haven't been many patients these days." "You look good," Wang Yao said. "I'm fine," Zheng Weijun said. People were in high spirits when faced with happy events. Recently, he had taken over more and more affairs. The power in his hands had also increased. This was the family's trust and test for him. Chapter 790. I'm very busy. I'm not as carefree as you are. Zheng Weijun sighed. He was really speaking from the bottom of his heart. Wang Yao just smiled. In fact, the young man sitting opposite him could live such a life, but he didn't want to, or he couldn't. He carried the hopes of too many people. There were some things that he couldn't do even if he didn't want to. After sitting in the clinic for a while and drinking 2 cups of tea, Zheng Weijun left. "Don't be too tired. Rest more." Before leaving, Wang Yao reminded him. "Oh, I'll remember it. Thank you, sir." "Goodbye." "Take care, sir." The cool wind blew, making the branches and leaves rustle. It was cool in autumn. Wang Yao liked autumn the most because the weather was the coolest at this time. It was also a harvest season. The busyness of spring and the heat of summer were exchanged for the harvest of autumn. A grain planted in spring led to a harvest in autumn. Soon, the fields in the mountains would be busy for a while. In the afternoon, an unexpected person came to the village. Yang Ming? The person who came was actually his old classmate, Yang Ming, who was also one of Tong Wei's pursuers and the one who tried to trip him up. He didn't come alone, but brought his mother along. "Is it really you?" Yang Ming's expression was very awkward after seeing Wang Yao. "Come in and have a seat." Wang Yao smiled and invited the mother and son into the house. The two of them had some disagreements, but it was not the hatred of killing his father or stealing his wife. Since Yang Ming had already come to the door, he couldn't just kick him out. Seeing that Yang Ming seemed to be embarrassed to speak, Wang Yao took the initiative to ask, "What's the matter?" "My mom has a headache and can't sleep at night. She wants you to take a look." Although Yang Ming had various shortcomings, he was good at one point, and that was he was filial to his parents. Originally, he had inquired that this clinic was most likely opened by his old classmate whom he didn't get along well with. Therefore, he didn't bring his mother to the clinic in the beginning. Instead, he took him to several big hospitals nearby to have a look, but they didn't find any obvious problems. However, he couldn't sleep at night. This was not good, it was too torturous. He thought for a long time, finally gritted his teeth, and brought his mother here today. Before he came, he had thought about it. At worst, he would just lower his head and admit his mistake. As long as he could treat his mother's illness, it would be fine. "Let me take a look at Auntie." Wang Yao did not show any displeasure. That's a simple question," he said after checking. In Wang Yao's eyes, this was just a small problem. After the acupuncture and massage, Yang Ming's mother felt that her head no longer hurt. It was warm and very comfortable. So comfortable." "All right. That's it." Yang Ming was surprised. They showed the surveillance footage of a certain place. At night, a figure suddenly flashed by on one of the surveillance images. Can't help it. A few miles away, in a building with the lights off, a man quietly sneaked in and came to the outside of a room. With a click, the door was opened. He entered the room quietly and began to search through every drawer. "Is there money?" There was a stack of money in one of the drawers. He picked it up and put it in the backpack on his back. He continued to search. "No." He tapped on the wall carefully. He stopped at a certain spot and knocked on it repeatedly. Then, he took down the painting hanging on the wall. A hidden compartment appeared on the wall. Sure enough, there is money. The combination lock on the secret compartment took him a lot of effort. After opening it, there was a small bag, a stack of money, and an envelope. He first put the money in his backpack. Then, he opened the bag and checked it with a flashlight. It was a diamond. He threw it into his backpack. The envelope was left. He hesitated for a moment and chose to open it. There was a letter inside. Are you a little disappointed? There was only one sentence on the letter. Damn it! With a click, he suddenly felt light in front of his eyes. It was really light. Someone had quietly entered the room and turned on the light. Who are you? The man with a mask ran to the window without hesitation. There was a muffled sound. My head is so dizzy. He felt the world was spinning. Then, he fell to the ground with a thud. When he woke up again, he was in a dark and damp room. He was tied to a chair. A lamp was hanging above his head. The man sitting opposite him had long hair and a pale face. His eyes were a little ambiguous. It was the kind of ambiguity that gave him goosebumps. Tell me, who sent you? The man's voice was a little sharp. Who? There is no one. The man who was tied up was stunned. What are you doing in our company? Stealing things, the man said. He was a thief. Since he had entered the company, he naturally wanted to steal things. How do you know that place is the chairman's office? It's written on the door plate, the man said. There was a short silence. The pale-faced man suddenly punched him in the ribs. The man who was tied up screamed out loud. It hurt. It hurt too much. Chapter 791. Speak, who sent you? I'm really here to steal. No one ordered me to do so, the thief said with a pained expression. He didn't expect that he would be so unlucky to be caught stealing something today. Moreover, this person didn't seem to be a good person. The pale-faced man didn't say anything. Instead, he took out a folding knife and waved it in front of the thief's eyes. The knife shone brightly under the light. With a snap, it pierced into his thigh. A scream rang out. This is just the beginning. Speak softly, or I'll cut your tongue off. Ugh! The thief gritted his teeth, his entire body convulsing in pain. Tell me, who sent you here? There's no one here. I heard that there's a lot of cash in the manager's office, so I came over. Who said that? I don't know him. She took the initiative to tell you? No, I heard them mention it when I was eating in a restaurant, the man said. I'm really a thief. You can go to the police station to check. I have a record, the man cried. His thigh was bleeding profusely, and he felt a little dizzy just looking at it. In the past, when he was caught, he would at most be beaten up and sent to the police station. Unlike this person in front of him, he was first imprisoned and then directly used a knife on him. The pale-faced man didn't say anything. His eyes stared straight at the thief, which made his hair stand on end. Gotcha! The knife pierced into his other thigh. Another scream rang out. Speak the truth. I'm telling the truth, I swear. You swore by a thief? Only a ghost would believe that. I didn't lie to you, I really didn't lie to you. Sigh, I originally wanted to let you live, but I think it's better to forget about it. When the thief heard that, he was dumbfounded. Then, the smell of urine wafted out. He was so scared that he wet his pants. He couldn't take it anymore. Suddenly, the lights in the basement went out. Who? Gulp. There was no sound at all. When the lights came on again, there were a few more people in the enclosed space. There were a few police officers, and the original 2 people were still there. There was a knife stuck in the thigh of the tied thief. There was another person lying on the ground, unconscious. What's going on? Let's get the doctor to check on them first. Soon, the forensic doctor arrived. Both of them were still alive, but unconscious. The one who was tied up had lost a lot of blood, but it wasn't fatal. The one lying on the ground, on the other hand, was seriously injured. What caused the coma? It should be something like ether. So, there must have been a third person here? Yes. Maintain the scene and look for evidence. Send the injured one to the hospital. Handcuff this one first. Hey, isn't this the thief? A policeman pointed at the man tied to the chair. You know him? Yes, he's a repeat offender. He's been in there several times. I remember his name is L.V. Xiuqing. Good name. One of them was sent to the hospital while the other was handcuffed and brought to the police station. Somewhere in Dao City. I didn't expect it to be him. Jia Zizai puffed out a smoke ring. No one saw you attack, right? No one. I'm wearing a mask. They won't know who I am even if they see me, Jia Zizai said. That's good. We've eliminated one, but we have to continue. In the police station, the handcuffed man woke up. He didn't panic at all. He first looked around to make sure he was in the police station. He began to think about how to deal with the possible interrogation in front of him. He's a veteran. The policeman who saw his series of movements through the surveillance equipment said. Well, I just checked his ID. It's fake. Fake? The policeman asked. Yes, I've reported it to the leader and applied for help from the higher-ups to further expand the scope of the investigation. Is this person possibly a wanted criminal? Let's interrogate him first. Yes, the policeman said. Name, the policeman said. The handcuffed man looked up at the two policemen and didn't give any answer. We're asking you a question. Name, the policeman said. There was still no answer. Do you think we can't find out anything about you if you don't answer? The policeman asked. You're now suspected of kidnapping and intentional assault. It's impossible for you to get out. The handcuffed man remained silent. He was very calm. Now he was thinking about who could have attacked him so silently. One must know that he had set up an alarm outside the basement. The other party was an expert. The two policemen's first interrogation failed. Look at this. Don't let him close his eyes tonight. Got it. A lamp shone on his eyes. He just sat there quietly like a statue. A few hours had passed, and he was still like that. Well, he can endure it, the policeman who was in charge of the case said. He's really a veteran. By the way, has his blood sample been taken? Not yet. Arrange for someone to take it. Test his DNA and compare it with the database. Okay, I'll arrange it right away. When he saw someone coming over to take his blood sample, the pale-faced man's expression changed. Look, his face has changed. He must have done something else. Then, we have to hurry up. In the hospital, the man who was stabbed was sent to a separate ward by the police for isolation treatment. Tell me what happened? Well, I went to the trading company to get something, the man said. Is that your family's company? The policeman asked. No, the man said. Burglary is theft. You still want to take it? You're really talented. Yes, I went in to steal, the man said. What did you steal? The policeman asked. 100,000 yuan and a bag of diamonds. I'm not sure, but it looked like it. How did you get kidnapped? The policeman asked. I don't know, the policeman said. I was stealing when the light in the office suddenly turned on. Then I saw the man. He knocked me out. When I woke up, I found myself tied to a chair in a dark space. He hit me and asked me who sent me to steal. Who sent you? The policeman asked. I didn't send anyone, the policeman said. I just went there to get some money to spend. How do you know there's money in there? The policeman asked. It's a trading company, the policeman said. Besides, it's the general manager's office. I've been there for several days. There's no one there at night. There's only an old man guarding the door. There's not even a security guard. Go on, the policeman said. He stabbed my thigh with a knife, one on each side, the policeman said. Then, the lights suddenly turned off and I fainted. When I woke up again, I saw the police. You came at the right time. For the first time, he realized that the policeman was so cute. In other words, there should be a third person who knocked you out? The policeman asked. Yes, it should be, the policeman said. Think again, is there anything else? The policeman asked. No, the policeman said. Well, you recover first, the policeman said. If you think of anything useful, tell me immediately. Oh, I know, the policeman said. The thief didn't intend to say anything more. The more he spoke, the more likely he would make mistakes, especially when facing these veteran investigators. One sentence could lead to fatal mistake. The night passed. Sir, there's a major discovery, the policeman said. Through DNA comparison, this man is likely to be the murderer of last year's massacre in Lawn City. What? The policeman in charge of the case was stunned. Last year's massacre in Lawn City? Yes, the policeman said. In August of last year, a family in Launching had a massacre. All 5 members of the family were killed, and 2 bodyguards were killed. One of them died, and the other was seriously injured. There was basically no useful evidence left at the scene except for the blood of the 8th person. It was a big case that caused a sensation. For this reason, the city of Launching asked for help from the Ministry of Public Security. Together with experts, they carried out a 3-month investigation. However, no trace of the culprit was found, and no suspect was identified. It became an unsolved case. They didn't expect that today in Tao, thousands of miles away, they would coincidentally catch the suspect who was most likely the culprit of the massacre. Get in touch with Lawn City immediately, the policeman said. Okay, I'll do it right away, the policeman said. After hearing the news, the people in Lawn City were very shocked. They said they would immediately send people to confirm. Chapter 792. On the same day, the police in Launching sent someone to Tao by plane with information about the massacre. The most reliable evidence they had was the blood of the suspect left behind at that time. Through DNA comparison, it was the person who had just been caught in Tao. No wonder they were so uneasy when they drew his blood. It turns out that he has such a big case on his shoulders. After confirming that the identity was fake, the police in Lawn City were very happy. After all, this case had troubled them for a long time. After a few months of investigation, they still couldn't solve the case. At that time, there were a lot of rumors, and they had a heavy burden on their shoulders. Now, after nearly a year of silence, there was finally some progress. Interrogate him. Interrogate him properly. He is a veteran, and his mentality is quite good. He hasn't slept for a day and a night, but his will is still very strong. Then continue to endure, the police officer said. I don't believe I can't endure it. The police in Launching arranged a few more people to form a joint team with the police in Tao to conduct a surprise investigation and interrogation of the man. Soon, their eyes fell on the Sihai Trading Company, where the man had been working during this period. Check where he works, the police officer said. Therefore, the police conducted a major investigation of the company, including the staff members. The investigation was not a big deal. Their chairman had died in the previous explosion. They also found a staff member in the company who had faked his identity. Take him back. The man was taken back and also investigated. He was also a wanted criminal. He had committed robbery and assault. This company hides and tolerates evil, the police officer in charge of the investigation said. Well, there are still several company directors who haven't come yet. The police officer immediately asked the relevant personnel of the company to immediately find a way to determine the current location of the directors. In order to avoid alerting the enemy and possibly frightening away a few big fish, they directly stayed in the company. Since they were investigating so openly, it was estimated that the directors had already received the news. At this time, somewhere in Tao, what happened? It's LV Xiuqing, the police officer said. His identity has been exposed. How can that be? Doesn't he usually pay attention? The police officer asked. There was a thief in our company the night before, the police officer said. He went into your office. Thief? There's nothing in my office. Yes. In the end, LV Xiuqing happened to be in the company at that time. He found that person and tied him up. Then, he was prepared to use his methods to interrogate the other party about who sent him, but he was knocked out. In the end, he was directly surrounded by the police. Things are getting a little troublesome, said the man in the cap. Originally, I wanted to wait for the limelight to pass before showing up, but now I can't go out. Once I go out, I will definitely attract the attention of the police. At that time, this lie will be difficult to cover up. Then what should we do? There are a few people in our company with questionable identities. One of them has already been exposed. Tell them not to show themselves. Isn't that just revealing the truth? There's no other way. This is the only way, the man in the hat said. What a brilliant move. He sighed. It's not easy to lead the team now that the morale is gone. Hundreds of miles away, in a mountain village. Under the acacia tree there was a stone table, a stone bench, 2 people, and a pot of tea. Come, have some tea. Thank you, sir, Zhong Luchuan got up and said. There were no patients that day. Zhong Luchuan had just come over, so he made a pot of tea. The two of them sat under the tree and chatted. It's almost the Mid-Autumn Festival, Zhong Luchuan said. Yes, more than half a year has passed, Zhong Luchuan said. More than half a year had passed. Wang Yao had gained a lot. His own cultivation, the changes on Nanshan Hill, a few reliable friends, and a beautiful marriage. Sir, I think Nanshan Hill seems to be changing, Zhong Luchuan said. Oh, how is it changing? I think it's getting taller, Zhong Luchuan said. During this time, Zhong Luchuan had been practicing at the border between Dongshan Mountain and Xishan Mountain. At first, he didn't pay attention to it, but an accidental slight vibration made him discover this problem. Then, he started to pay attention to it. Then, he discovered that the mountain was growing taller. Well, it is indeed getting taller, Wang Yao said. In the past 6 months, it has grown nearly 1 meter taller. He also found that the speed of Nanshan Hill's growth was getting faster. This is not a precursor to an earthquake, is it? Zhong Luchuan asked. It turns out that you are worried about this, Wang Yao said with a smile. The mountain was growing taller. It was an unexpected effect caused by the spirit-gathering battle array, not a precursor to an earthquake. That's good, Zhong Luchuan said. Since we have nothing to do, why don't we spar? Here? Zhong Luchuan asked. After drinking tea, let's go to the mountain. Okay. After drinking the tea in the teacups, the two of them went out one after another and went straight to Dongshan Mountain. After a while, they arrived at the top of the mountain. Come, let me see the results of your practice during this time, Zhong Luchuan said. Don't use a knife. Yes. Zhong Luchuan did not have the slightest reservation. The neishi in his body flowed. His fists and feet created wind. He directly attacked Wang Yao. His speed was very fast. His speed was much faster than the last time, and his strength was greater. The rhythm of his breathing was also well controlled. Wang Yao dodged lightly while observing the changes in Zhong Luchuan. The disadvantage was that it was too complicated and not systematic enough. To put it simply, Zhong Luchuan had learned too many things. He knew a little bit of everything, but he was not proficient in anything. The only thing he could rely on was his rich combat experience. When he encountered a real master, he would be at a disadvantage, a big disadvantage. Okay, that's enough. This time, the fight was not long, but Wang Yao had already seen Zhong Luchuan's progress and shortcomings that he still could not make up for. I call it a set of boxing techniques, Zhong Luchuan said. You can practice it. The boxing technique was the kung fu in the Quanjing. Wang Yao had previously asked the Zhou family if it could be properly taught. The Zhou family had said yes. This boxing technique originated from the Zhou family of Tsangzhou in Jizhou, Zhong Luchuan said. You must remember this. I am just teaching it on behalf of you. Yes, sir, Zhong Luchuan respectfully said. On the mountain, Wang Yao practiced a set of boxing. His speed was relatively slow. Some of the key skills were even slower. It was not only a set of boxing, but also a set of footwork and a skill to exert force. It looked like a set of boxing, but it was a kung fu, a profound kung fu. As the saying went, an expert could tell whether he was a kung fu expert or not. Zhong Luchuan was a kung fu practitioner, so he could naturally see the difference in this set of boxing technique. How is it? I remember a little bit, Zhong Luchuan said. He was telling the truth. To be able to learn it after seeing it once was a genius. He had not reached that level yet. No hurry, I'll do it again. After that, he practiced it again. This time, his speed was still very slow. In this way, he practiced the set of boxing 8 times in total. Well, that's it for today, Zhong Luchuan said. Go back and think about it. Don't worry. Thank you, sir. Chapter 793. This breathing method is the foundation of cultivation, Wang Yao said. You can't give it up. This boxing method is a skill. You need to practice it diligently. Only by practicing both internal and external can you become a so-called master. I'll remember it. The teacher and apprentice walked on the mountain for a while before going down. Zhong Luchuan returned home and began to practice the boxing method Wang Yao had taught him in the yard. He took advantage of the fact that the memory in his mind was still the clearest. He practiced, improved, and deepened his impression. This boxing method is very profound. As the saying goes, when an expert makes a move, one will know whether it is true or not. Similarly, when an expert starts, one will know the depth of it. Zhong Luchuan had come into contact with a lot of fighting techniques, so he was quite involved in this aspect. However, none of the techniques he had learned before were like this set of boxing method. It combined footwork, the technique of using force, and even the integration of internal and external forces into it. The more he practiced, the more he felt the mystery. He became more and more energetic. Before he knew it, the sky outside had darkened. He looked up at the sky and thought, time flies. After practicing for an entire afternoon, he was hungry. For dinner, he cooked a fish, a pot of rice, and a dish. He cleared everything out. In Jing, thousands of miles away, Su Zhixing had been discharged from the hospital. After resting at home for a few days, his face had become much whiter. Are you going back at this time? Song Ruiping asked. While they were eating, Su Zhixing had told her that he was going back to the army. As a mother, she naturally wanted her son to spend more time with her. The key was that he was still injured and had not recovered. Go back, Su Zhixing said. I'm always bored at home. Okay, let's go back, Song Ruiping said with a smile. Okay. Xiaoxue, I'm going to visit my brother-in-law before returning to the army, Su Zhixing said to his sister. Is there anything you want me to bring? Yes. Su Xiaoxue was happy. I bought a set of clothes for Mr. Wang. Can you bring it to him? Okay, Su Zhixing said. Looking at the beautiful packaging outside, Su Zhixing sighed. Oh, this set of clothes is not cheap, is it? I bought it with my scholarship, Su Xiaoxue said. Mr. Wang should like it. Tisk tsk tsk. As a brother, when will I be able to earn such clothes? Aren't you in the army? You don't usually wear it. Oh, that's enough. I'm just saying. Don't worry. I promise to bring your gift to you. Thank you, big brother. If Su Xiaoxue had not been so busy with her classes, she would have gone to Lianshan personally to give it to Wang Yao. We're family, there's no need to thank me. Besides, I have to thank my brother-in-law properly. Sigh, what does my brother-in-law like? Yes, sir likes things related to medicine. He likes Taoist scriptures. What a unique hobby, Su Zhixing said. Most people liked cigarettes and alcohol, some liked antiques, calligraphy and paintings, and some liked gold and jewelry. Those who liked things related to Taoist scriptures and medical skills were the minority of the minority. By the way, Sir likes tea. Ah, that's much easier. I remember that our dad still has rock tea from Wui Mountain, right? Da Hong Pao? Su Xiaoxue asked. Yeah. Dad doesn't usually drink it, Su Xiaoxue said. Tea is for drinking. Su Zhixing smiled. Besides, what kind of tea can't our dad drink? The next day, Su Zhixing left Jing by car. He brought a set of high-end clothes and a small pot of tea. Your brother's smile is a little sneaky, Song Ruiping whispered to her daughter. I think he must have done something behind your back, Su Xiaoxue said. Really? Did he steal something from your dad again? Song Ruiping asked. Well, hee. Su Xiaoxue smiled. You little girl, do you know something? Nothing. Su Xiaoxue shook her head. The car sped along. Look at you, Su Zhixing said. Why didn't you take a plane? Why did you have to take a car? You haven't recovered yet. I'm used to taking a car, Su Zhixing said. I feel uncomfortable flying in the sky with something in my hand. How did you get an excellent result during the airborne training? Su Zhixing asked. To be honest, I'm a little afraid of heights, Su Zhixing said. Why did you suddenly want to go to Qi province? Su Zhixing asked. I'm going to see my brother-in-law, Su Zhixing said. My life was saved by him. I have to thank him. Is your sister married? When did it happen? Why didn't I know? Su Zhixing asked. Yes, I was wondering, Su Zhixing said. They arrived at the mountain village a little later that afternoon. Well, why are you here? Wang Yao was surprised to see Su Zhixing. You haven't recovered yet, have you? Su Zhixing asked. No, I feel bored in Jing, Su Zhixing said. It's better to go back to the army. By the way, Xiaoxue asked me to bring you a gift. Take a look. Su Zhixing took out the clothes Su Xiaoxue had bought for him. It was a casual suit. It was very exquisite. Xiaoxue bought it for me? Su Zhixing asked. Yes, she has been busy with her classes recently, Su Zhixing said. Otherwise, she would have come in person. Try it on. Wang Yao opened the box and put it on. Yes, it looks good. Clothes make the man, and beautiful horses make the horse. This saying is true. As soon as Wang Yao put on the clothes, he looked very energetic. Moreover, because he had been cultivating for a long time, he had maintained his body shape very well. When he put on the clothes, he looked even more so. The person is good and the clothes are good too. Xiaoxue has a good eye, Wang Yao said with a smile. Do you like it? I like it. This is my gift. Su Zhixing took out a small box of tea leaves. It had no label and looked quite ordinary. Tea. Yes, good tea. I have to try it, Wang Yao said with a smile. Are you in a hurry to leave? There's no hurry, Su Zhixing said. To be honest, I've never drunk this tea before. Let's try it then. Sure. Excellent tea set, excellent mountain spring water, and excellent rock tea. Immediately, the tea was brewed with hot water, and the aroma of tea assailed his nostrils. That's the Da Hong Pao of Mount Wui. You know what it is? Su Zhixing said. You didn't steal it from Minister Su, did you? What do you mean by steal? Su Zhixing asked with a smile. I'm just presenting it to Buddha with borrowed flowers. There's not much production of this tea in a year, Su Zhixing said. It's all specially protected. What about those wild camellia trees? Yes, how does it taste? Well, it has the aura of the mountains in it, Wang Yao said. The aura of the mountains is really extraordinary. Aura? Don't make it sound so mysterious, Su Zhixing said. I just think it's fragrant, much more fragrant than ordinary tea leaves. I thought you didn't like tea. His comrade who had come with him asked with a smile. Well, I try it occasionally, Su Zhixing said. Good tea can't be enjoyed alone. I'll call someone else. Wang Yao immediately called Zhong Luchuan over. Try it. It's the Dahong Pao of Mount Wui. It's a good tea. Wang Yao poured him a cup. Thank you, sir, Zhong Luchuan said. Good tea. Even though Zhong Luchuan didn't know much about tea, it didn't prevent him from tasting it. It was good tea. It was mellow and had a long aftertaste. Don't leave tonight, Wang Yao said. Stay here. Okay, it's getting dark, Su Zhixing said. It's tiring to travel at night. I'm not in a hurry to go back. Luchuan, go and arrange a place for them to stay, Wang Yao said. Let's go to the restaurant in the village for dinner. Okay, sir, Zhong Luchuan said. The place they were given to live in was still that small courtyard, which was the small courtyard that Tsing Yichuan had lived in not long ago. During dinner, Su Zhixing poured himself a cup of good wine that Wang Yao had brought from home. Your body hasn't recovered yet, Wang Yao said. Don't drink. It's okay, Su Zhixing said. I'll just drink this cup. Wang Yao shook his head after hearing that. Good wine, Su Zhixing said. When he had been in Jing, there had been people watching him, so he couldn't drink. He had been stifled, so he drank one cup after another. Okay, don't drink any more. When he was about to drink a third cup, Wang Yao snatched the wine cup from his hand. When your injury is completely healed, you can drink as much as you want, Wang Yao said. Okay, I'll drink that much today, Su Zhixing said. After dinner, they walked back to the village. Su Zhixing and his comrade went back to the small courtyard to sleep. Zhong Luchuan followed Wang Yao up the mountain. Chapter 794. Thousands of miles away, in a remote town in southern Yunnan in the mountains, the scenery was picturesque. A villa was built halfway up the mountain. It was built according to the mountain, trying to preserve the original ecology of nature as much as possible and not destroy the trees and rock. In a wooden house, two people were sitting opposite each other. One was a young man, less than 30 years old, and the other was a middle-aged man, who looked to be in his 40s. There was a pot of tea with a faint fragrance. What do you mean by what you just said? Secretary Guo, I'm scared, really scared, the man said. I'm sick, and so is my daughter. I thank you. If it weren't for your introduction, both of us might be lying in a hospital bed or even dead. As long as we can live, it doesn't matter how much money we have. I've already transferred the mountain. Guo Jinghe didn't say anything. He picked up the teacup and took a sip of tea. He stared at the man in front of him for a long time. I see. You can go back. Thank you, Secretary Guo. The man got up and bowed to Guo Jinghe. If you need me for anything else, please don't hesitate to let me know, the man said. However, I can't do this. Guo Jinghe waved his hand. After the man left, he sat quietly in the room alone. Interesting. After a long time, he finally said these 3 words. In southern Yunnan, in a valley deep in the mountains, there was a village. There were continuous mountains on both sides. There was only one way to enter and exit the mountain. On one side of the mountain, there were 2 men. Senior, this is not good, the man said. If Uncle Master finds out, we'll be in trouble. You're too careful, and you've underestimated Master, the man said. He already knows. We just came out to take a breather. We didn't leave directly. Nothing will happen. At most, we'll have to face the wall for reflection for 3 months. More? Why? Are you still thinking about revenge? Of course, Master's revenge must be taken. Wait a minute. What kind of person is that Wang Yao? Why is his cultivation so shocking? I only know his name. My master's death is also related to him. If it wasn't for him... Zhao Yunho didn't continue. What happened that night was still vivid in his mind. His master wanted to take revenge, so it was inevitable that the villagers in that village would be hurt. Therefore, when the other party made his move, his methods were thunderous. They simply didn't have the ability to fight back. You won't be able to take revenge on him even if you practice for another 10 years, unless your master is involved, the Miao Qingfeng said. There's no need to trouble Martial Uncle with this matter. Master hasn't left the mountain for 5 or 6 years. He has been cultivating in seclusion. I don't think he will go out for the next 2 years. With a cry, a white crane flew into the sky from the village. Soon, it arrived above the two of them and circled around. Master asked us to go down. Let's go, the Miao Qingfeng said after staring at them for a while. The two of them went down the mountain and came to the tallest wooden house in the valley. A man with a pale golden complexion was sitting cross-legged on a cattail hassock. I asked you to cultivate in seclusion. Why did you go up the mountain? Master, haha, it's too boring to stay in the house all the time. Let's go out and get some fresh air, the slightly older Miao Qingfeng said with a smile. Want to go out and get some fresh air? The middle-aged man asked with a smile. Yes. Good. It just so happens that I need someone reliable to do something. Just the two of you. What is it, master? There's a meat Ganoderma. Bring it back for me. Meat Ganoderma, Taisui fungus? Yes. It's not small. The location is here. The middle-aged man took out a piece of paper and handed it to him. Bring it back in one piece. Don't worry, master. Be careful. Safety first. Got it. Let's go. The two of them went out of the wooden house. The middle-aged man exhaled a long breath. It was a breath with a color. It was light yellow and somewhat strange. The breath only dissipated after it was 3 feet away from his body. Finally, we can go out and get some fresh air. The Miao Qingfeng spoke as he moved his body. South Yunnan is not far from here. Not far, more than 100 kilometers away. It's a small county on the edge. Pack up. We'll leave immediately. Immediately? Yes. What if Master changes his mind? The two of them packed up some necessities as fast as they could and walked out of the village. Outside the village was a dense jungle. There was a not very wide road in the jungle. It was not hardened in any way. One had to pass through this road to get in and out of the village. Most people relied on their feet or at most rode a horse. It had been like this for hundreds of years. Someone's there? Zhao Yunho seemed to have heard something. He suddenly stopped and looked into the depths of the jungle beside him. It's okay. It's the guardian of the village. He knows us. He's out on an order by the patriarch. The jungle was quiet. There was no echo. Let's go. The two of them continued to walk. After walking for nearly 2 hours, they saw a decent road. However, there were no cars on the road. Let's keep walking. After walking for another hour, they saw an old car by the roadside. A man in his 50s leaned against the window and smoked. Uncle, can you give me a ride? Mountain people. Valley people. Get in the car. The car started. It was shaking all over. Black smoke came out of it. It moved forward with a click. Uncle, you should change your car. Change what? I just checked this car this year. Can this pass? Yes, what do you think? After driving for an hour, they finally arrived at the nearest town. Well, I'll send you here. You can think of a way on your own. Okay, thank you. The uncle drove the trembling car back along the original road. Let's find a place to have a drink first. Drink? Uncle still has things to do. It's okay. Someone is watching that thing. The Miao Qingfeng smiled and waved his hand. I've been facing the wall for so long and haven't had a drink. My tongue is numb. Brother, we should drink less. It's not good for practice. TSK, you are young, but you are very antique, the Miao Qingfeng said. They found a restaurant in town and ordered a few dishes and 2 bottles of wine. The Miao Qingfeng held the bottle and drank directly from it. It looked like he was drinking mineral water. Ah, this is great. Thousands of miles away in Dao, the whole family has been so quiet recently. Sun Jingrong stood by the floor-to-ceiling window and looked at the scenery outside. I don't know why, but they seem to want to stop, Uncle Lin said behind him. Stop? This is not in line with their character and habits, Uncle Lin said. Maybe they are waiting for the right time. After all, that person is very busy now. Maybe they don't want to cause trouble at this time. Yes. What's the matter with the Sihai Trading Company? We are investigating, Uncle Lin said. We already know that at least 3 people have been killed. So many? Uncle Lin asked. Yes, 1 has been arrested, and the other 2 are out of town. They probably won't come back. What kind of business do they do? Uncle Lin asked. They mainly do medicine business with a company in Dongying, Uncle Lin said. Dongying? Sun Jingrong was silent for a while. The person in charge of that company in Dao is called Musashi Kojiro, right? Did he commit a crime here last time? Yes, he hurt a girl, Uncle Lin said. Cut off all business dealings with them immediately. Yes, Uncle Lin said. Also, get someone to follow him, Uncle Lin said. Okay. Uncle Lin left the room, leaving Sun Jingrong standing alone in front of the window and looking outside. Knock, knock, knock. There was a knock on the door. Come in. Lin Sitao, who had just left, came in again. What's wrong, Uncle Lin? Sun Jingrong asked. We found someone selling organs, Uncle Lin said. Selling organs? Sun Jingrong's face immediately became gloomy. What does it have to do with us? Sun Jingrong asked. It's a secret person who used to follow Hao, Uncle Lin said. With whom? Sun Jingrong asked. In Dongying, Uncle Lin said. You are courting death. Sun Jingrong said angrily. Arrange for how to investigate this matter carefully, Uncle Lin said. Then go directly to Director Du. Chapter 795. I know. How dare you do these things in Dao? You really don't know what's good for you. Thousands of miles away, somewhere in Jiangnan, third uncle, what do you think I should do? Jing Weijun asked his third uncle, who was sitting next to him. This is what the old master wants. It's hard to disobey him. Jing Shixiang took a sip of tea. He only had 1 daughter. He treated his nephew, who he had brought up since he was a child, as half his own son. He stood up for him in most things and was anxious for him. However, there were some things that he was powerless to do. He still loves Big Brother very much, Jing Weijun said. After all, your brother was brought up by him, so he naturally has to be especially close to him, Jing Shixiang said. Actually, your brother still treats you well, Jing Shixiang said. Yes, he treats me well. The smile on Jing Weijun's face was bitter. In fact, sometimes I wish I hadn't been born into such a family. I was exposed to the darkness of people's hearts too early. The struggle for power and profit, the mutual deception, and the mental and physical exhaustion. It was possible for brothers to turn against each other because of these struggles. Jing Weijun was silent for a while before saying, I've thought about it. I won't interfere in the business of the 7 southern provinces anymore. You've thought it through? Jing Shixiang asked. I've thought it through. I only want the business in Qi province, especially Nanshan Pharmaceutical, Jing Weijun said. I want all the shares. That's much easier, Jing Shixiang said. It's less than 1%. I think the old master will agree. Your brother will also agree. He might even give you the right to control the business in the province. After all, you are brothers. That's it, Jing Weijun said. Thank you, third uncle. There's no need to be so formal between us, Jing Shixiang said. In such a big family, everyone had their own sorrow. I'll go out and relax for a few days. All right. In another part of the southern city, in a villa, second uncle, don't you think this is too unfair to Weijun? Wei Hong, there's no such thing as fairness in this world. Besides, this is the old man's decision. Do you think your uncles don't have any opinions? You're about to take over a third of the Jing family's business. Many people are eyeing it. This is such a big piece of meat. Back then, even your father didn't manage to get it. Why should you take it over? Just because you're the grandson that the old man raised? A middle-aged man in his 50s said with a smile. Second uncle, you also think it's unfair, right? It's quite unfair. If even I think so, what do you think the others will think? Yes. The eldest son of the Sun family sighed. However, you don't have to think too much and worry too much. It doesn't matter what they think. The key is what the old man thinks. If they want to interfere, they have to have the ability to do so. Now that you have the company's shares in your hands, you can think of ways to win over your uncles. Naturally, you can calm this storm. In the end, it all depends on strength, the middle-aged man said. Yes, second uncle is right. I'm over 50 years old, the middle-aged man said. Your two younger brothers are not very capable. Naturally, I have to fully support you. They're actually quite good, the middle-aged man said. Good? Good my ass, the middle-aged man said. One wants to be an artist and the other wants to be a movie star. With their appearances, I want to slap them. When the middle-aged man mentioned his two disappointing sons, he got angry. They didn't want to inherit the family business. Instead, they wanted to do those superficial things. It was as if they were possessed. No matter how he tried to persuade them, it didn't work. This made him so worried that half of his hair had turned white. At least they can do what they want to do, the middle-aged man said. They don't know anything, the middle-aged man said. If they had half the ability of you and Wei-jun, I would be relieved. In the mountain village, the autumn wind was blowing and the weather was cold. Good tea. Wang Yao sat quietly under the acacia tree and tasted the tea. Su Zhixing had specially brought him Wui rock tea from Jing City. This was indeed a good thing. Even if you had money, you might not be able to buy it. Maybe I can plant a few in the cracks of the stones on Nanshan Hill, Wang Yao said. Knock, knock. Someone knocked on the door. Please come in. Hello Yao, Wang Yao said. Uncle. Seeing the person, Wang Yao hurriedly got up. It was Wang Fengming, an honest elder in the village. Are you busy today? Wang Fengming asked. No, there are not many people here. Please sit down and have some tea. Wang Yao poured him a cup of tea. Oh, thank you, Wang Fengming said. Is there something you need? Wang Yao asked. Yes, there is something I need, Wang Yao said. Didn't I plant a few acres of herbs on the mountain? I'm not sure. Wang Yao asked. I went to see them, Wang Yao said. They are growing very well. I want the ones that are closest to their wild state. Don't fertilize them, Wang Yao said. He had been to Dongshan Hill. The two of them had planted 2 plots of land. The growth of the herbs there was not bad. It could be seen that the two of them were very diligent. Of course, it could not be compared to the herbs in the herbal field on Nanshan Hill. Ah, that's good, Wang Fengming said. Don't worry, uncle, Wang Yao said. I will definitely want these herbs. Also, I suggest you plant more. Isn't there a new pharmaceutical company in town? They mainly make Chinese medicine. The raw materials are natural and pollution-free organic Chinese medicine. In the future, you won't have to worry about selling your medicine. Really? Wang Yao asked. How could I lie to you about this? To tell you the truth, the owner of the pharmaceutical company is a friend of mine. I also have shares in it. Ah, that's good, Wang Yao said. I'll go back and plant more. Ah, okay, Wang Yao said. I'll go first, Wang Yao said. Don't worry, uncle. Drink this tea before you go. Wang Yao pointed to the teacup. Wang Fengming drank the tea in the teacup in one gulp. Ah, this tea is so fragrant, he exclaimed. Even people who did not understand tea and did not know how to taste tea could tell the difference between good tea and bad tea. Come often if you have time. I have a lot of good tea here, Wang Yao said with a smile. Okay. Wang Fengming left with a smile. In the afternoon, near evening, Wang Yao closed the door of the clinic and went home for dinner. On the way back, he saw an old man squatting by the river and smoking. He was very relaxed. Uncle! Hey Yao, have you gone back? Yes, have you eaten? No, I'm waiting for Zicheng to come back, the old man said with a smile. Okay, I'll go back first. The old man smiled and waved his hand. Ah! Wang Yao sighed softly. This old man, what a pity! Even if he was in a good mood and everything went his way, he could not resist the erosion of the terrible disease in his body. Wang Zicheng took medicine from him all day long, but it was just to delay and reduce his pain. In fact, he was still going to die, much faster than a healthy person. Walking to the entrance of the alley, he saw Wang Zicheng coming back from work in the factory. He had not seen him for a while. He had become thinner. Wang Yao. Wang Zicheng, who was riding a motorcycle, greeted him from afar. Are you off work? Yes, I am off work, Wang Zicheng said with a smile. Go back quickly. Uncle is still waiting for you to come home for dinner. Yes, I'll go back now. The prodigal son had returned. The sun was setting, and there was a red glow on the horizon. Wang Yao's mother was preparing dinner at home. Wang Fenghua was sitting in the yard smoking. Wang Yao went into the kitchen to help clean up the dishes on the table. Soon, the meal was ready. It's autumn, and the weather is cold, Zhang Xiuying said. The people in the village who can walk have moved away. When Wang Yao walked in the village these days, he did see that there were fewer people. They probably won't come back after leaving. Why would they come back? Zhang Xiuying asked. The houses have been replaced, and the land on the mountain has been abandoned. The land was like this. If it was often cultivated, weeds would grow. If it was not taken care of diligently, the land would be completely abandoned in less than a year. Wang Yao did not speak. He just listened quietly. He did not care how many people there were in the village. I met Wang Yilong in the village today. He is in good spirit. He is fine, Wang Yao said. How long can he live? Zhang Xiuying asked. It's hard to say, Wang Yao said. It depends on himself and his family, but Wang Zicheng has changed a lot during this time. He is filial to the old man and cares about his family. The old man seems to be in a good mood. Such a state of life is beneficial to the continuation of his life. Chapter 796. Life is short. Think about it carefully. What is the most important thing? Health, happiness. It doesn't matter if you are rich or poor, as long as you are happy. The poor may not be unhappy, and the rich may not be happy either. People have to be open-minded and open-minded. At night, the autumn wind was very cool. The old people in the village squatted at the entrance of the village and smoked after dinner. Wang Yao went up Nanshan Hill at around 9 p.m. It was quiet on the hill. Only the sound of the wind rustling the leaves could be heard. In the herbal field, San Xian was nowhere to be found. The fly stood quietly on the trunk, staring at Wang Yao with a pair of bright eyes. When it saw Wang Yao approaching, it flapped its wings a few times as a greeting. "Xia, where is San Xian?" "Quack!" the goshawk called out. After a while, San Xian came down from the hill. "San Xian, where did you go?" Wang Yao smiled and patted the dog's big head. "Woof!" San Xian barked. "Did you go to patrol the hill?" Wang Yao smiled. "Woof! Okay, go to bed early." At night, there was chanting on Nanshan Hill again. No matter how much it rained in autumn, it didn't seem to be annoying. The next day, there was an autumn rain. It was not only raining in this mountain village. Thousands of miles away, in a small county in southern Yunnan, it was also raining. This is the small town. In a hotel in the small town, the Miao Qingfeng and Zhao Yungho stood in front of the window and looked at the small town outside. There were many small towns like this in the south. The autumn rain was still falling. It fell on the window and made a crisp sound. "I don't like rainy days like this," Zhao Yungho said. His face was still a little dark, but it was obviously lighter than before. Cough, cough, cough. He suddenly coughed. He quickly took out a piece of tissue from his pocket and covered his mouth. Blood was faintly visible. Are you still not recovered? Soon. More haste, less speed, Miao Qingfeng said. I have told you this more than once. Miao Qingfeng said. Revenge is not something that can be achieved in a short period of time. If your body collapses, you will lose everything. I know, senior brother, Zhao Yunho said. There was a knock on the door. I'll go open the door. The door opened and an expert wearing a hooded hat came in. What's going on? Why so mysterious? Senior brother, I have to be mysterious. I think someone has their eyes on me. What are you afraid of here? They have guns in their hands. The tall and thin man who came in said. Spear. Yes, I saw them in the jungle. They're not locals. They might not even be from our country. Then what are they doing here? I'm not sure. Miao Qingfeng thought for a while. Does Master know about this? I've already told Marshal Uncle, but he only told us to keep an eye on it and didn't say anything else. You also know that we rarely meddle in the affairs of the outside world. All right, I know. Where is the Tai Sui fungus? It's on the mountain. I've already marked it and placed poisonous insects nearby. If something comes close, it will attack directly. Let's go and have a look. Now? Yes, now. Okay. The three of them went out in the autumn rain and went up the mountain. The trees on the mountain were very lush. After walking for a while, they finally stopped in a low-lying valley. It's here. The tall and thin man pointed to a place on the ground. How did you find it? I didn't find it. It was found by a herbalist who went up the mountain. He was not sure, so he asked someone to come and take a look. He knew it was the same thing at first glance. They wanted to find someone to sell it at a good price. I happened to know about it. After taking a look, I put them all here, stole them, and buried them here. No one died, right? No, it's just a knockout drug, the tall and thin man said. They might have temporary memory loss and forget what happened today. Okay, I got it. Get it out quickly and bring it back to the valley. Wait, someone is coming, Zhao Yunho suddenly said. Hide. They hid in the forest on the side. Then, they saw 4 people appear in the forest diagonally opposite. Is it here? No, we have to go deeper. Lead the way. Explorers? No, they still have guns, the Miao Qingfeng said. What should we do? You go and inform Master. Ing Hao and I will follow them. Senior, you have to be careful. Don't worry. Let's go. Ing Hao, let's follow them. The two of them felt their way through the forest and followed behind the 4-man team, trailing them from afar. Wait. After following them for about 10 miles, Miao Qingfeng stopped and took out a small wooden tripod from the bag he carried with him. He gently opened it, and more than a dozen small insects flew out of it. Senior, why did you put poisonous insects here? Just in case. The forest around them was getting denser. There was no road under their feet. The 4 people were moving very slowly. They seemed to be moving according to a map. Haven't we arrived yet? One of the people asked in stiff Chinese. According to the map, we will arrive soon. Over there. The person walking at the front pointed at a big tree. The trunk of the big tree was very thick, at least 7 or 8 people needed to wrap their arms around it. Behind the big tree was a steep cliff full of moss. Looking for the entrance? The people split up and looked around. What are they looking for? Treasure. Here. One of them said. Then, there was no more sound. The Miao Qingfeng and Zhao Yunho waited for a few minutes. They slowly approached the tree. There was no one around it. That's strange. Where did they go? There. Zhao Yunho pointed. Behind the lush branches, a cave could be vaguely seen on the cliff. It was as narrow as a shuttle that had been erected. Go up. Wait! The Miao Qingfeng grabbed Zhao Yunho and pointed not far away. There was a thin wire hanging there. It was very hidden. If one did not look carefully, one would not notice it. There was a grenade at the other end of the wire. If they went up rashly, the grenade would have been triggered and exploded. They would have been seriously injured even if they did not die. Who are these people? They are heartless. They can't blame us for being unrighteous. The Miao Qingfeng smiled evilly. He always took revenge on the spot for such things. He would not wait for the night. Wung, wung, wung. Flying insects flew out from the cloth bag he carried with him, and then rushed into the cave. Senior, it's not good to let these things out, right? It's fine. It's just 7-day insect. We are deep in the forest. It's not a problem. In the cave, the 4 people walked slowly. The cave was very narrow and dark. They could not move quickly. There was a scream. The person at the back covered his neck and fell to the ground. His body kept twitching. What happened? The other 3 people quickly moved forward. Under the light, they saw the person's face was black. His eyes were wide open and he was foaming at the mouth. Chapter 797. It's an insect. One of the men with shoulder-length hair pointed at the neck of the man who had fallen to the ground. There were 2 obvious red dots on his neck. Buzz. There was the sound of insects flying in the air. There's more. A knife flashed and a small insect fell to the ground. What is this insect? He stared at the insect that was still struggling and looked at it carefully. Light the insect repellent smoke. A man hurriedly took out something that looked like a hemp rope from his pocket and lit it. There was no fire, only a red flame. The smoke was very strong and it was very pungent. I think there are friends behind us. The long-haired man stared at the cave behind him and said. No way, we have a small gift hidden, the long-haired man said. Maybe they are professionals. We can't be careless, the long-haired man said. I'll go and have a look, the bald man said. He had a strange tattoo on his forehead. It was a scorpion. It started from the top of his head and ended at his forehead. It covered the middle part of his head. It looked quite ferocious. Be careful, the long-haired man said. I know, the bald man said. The bald man picked up his gun and carefully walked toward the cave entrance. Outside the cave, the Miao Qingfeng and Zhao Yunho hid behind a rock and looked at the cave entrance not far away. Brother, should we go in? Wait a little longer. None of the 7-day insects flew back. This is not right. The Miao Qingfeng frowned slightly. Zhao Yunho suddenly sniffed the air carefully. Do you smell something? Smell? The Miao Qingfeng listened and sniffed carefully. This is insect repellent smoke? His face changed. Insect repellent smoke? The kind that is used to expel poisonous insects? Yes, they are professionals. They came prepared. The Miao Qingfeng sighed. Not only did they bring weapons, but they also brought insect repellent. It seemed that they knew the situation in southern Yunnan very well. It was very likely that it was not their first time here. Someone is coming out. A bald man held a gun and cautiously poked his head out of the cave to see if there was anyone outside. After confirming that there was no one, he looked at the booby trap they had set before entering the cave. After confirming that no one had touched it, he carefully went around it. There seemed to be something on his body that was emitting faint smoke. The smoke was greenish-black. As expected, but he's a veteran. Fortunately, I'm prepared. All of a sudden, the bald man fell to the ground and let out a muffled groan. His hand was pricked by something. Not good. He looked at the wound on his palm and his heart skipped a beat. Dark red blood was flowing out of his palm. What had pierced his finger was a nail, a very small nail. Why are there nails here? Be careful, there's someone. Before he could finish his sentence, he felt the world spinning around him, and then he fell to the ground. Scorpion was ambushed. The long-haired man in the cave said. I'll go take a look, another teammate said. No, let's continue forward and carry out the mission first. What if they come in? Come in and die here. Outside the cave, 2 people were staring at the entrance of the cave. Bro, should we go in? Zhao Yunghao asked. He was not sure because the opponent had a gun. Go in, why not? This is our territory, Miao Qingfeng said. I'll go in first, you follow behind. No, I'll be in front. Stop arguing, let them go in first. Miao Qingfeng took out the wooden tripod from his pocket and opened it. Buzz. A large number of insects flew out and rushed into the cave. Okay, no problem, let's go in. After a while, the two people followed into the cave. Not long after they entered the cave, they saw the militant who had fallen to the ground. One here, one outside. There are two more inside. Let's continue. The two people were very careful. They released a wave of insects from time to time, and then another wave of insects flew back. Wait. Miao Qingfeng made a gesture to stop. Suddenly, two paths appeared in front of them. Left or right? Zhao Yunghao did not say anything. He sniffed carefully. Right. Buzz. A large number of insects flew into the cave. There is something here, be careful. Miao Qingfeng pointed at a place under his feet. There were a few insects on a rock. What is it? Zhao Yunghao bent down to take a closer look. Landmines. These people deserve to die. Miao Qingfeng looked inside and had a murderous look. They continued to move forward slowly. Along the way, they encountered 5 landmines. They were all traps set by the militants. Fortunately, they made it through safely. There is light. There was light not far in front of them. It seemed to be the exit of the cave. Be careful. After the previous few traps, they were more careful in this situation. There was a forest at the end of the cave. Is this a valley? The two people sighed after they came out of the cave. It looked like a big valley surrounded by cliffs. Bang, bang, bang. They heard gunshots from afar. Bang. It was the sound of a grenade exploding. What happened? They must have encountered something. We have to be careful, Miao Qingfeng said. The exit of the cave was in midair. It was about 5 or 6 meters from the ground. There was a pool at the bottom of the cave. Wait, don't rush down. Miao Qingfeng squatted at the entrance of the cave and looked at the pool. It was not clear. What's wrong? There is something in the water. Miao Qingfeng pointed at the water. What is it? Miao Qingfeng didn't say anything. Instead, he threw a stone in. Then, he saw a black flash pass. Is it a fish? No, it looks more like a snake. How do we get there? The pool was not small. The nearest shore was about 10 meters away. How did they get there? Rope. There are traces of a hard object digging on the rock. They removed the rope after they got there. Let me think. Miao Qingfeng thought for a while and took out a big pill from his pocket. What is this? Ecstasy pill. Master said 1 pill can take down 5 elephants. To be honest, I have never tried it. Let's try it today. He threw the ecstasy pill into the pool below the two of them. Then, the two of them sat quietly at the entrance of the cave and waited. Bang! There was another explosion not far away. It's quite lively. Miao Qingfeng smiled and looked into the distance. Junior brother, what do you think they encountered? It's hard to say. Maybe it was a poisonous snake, an insect, or a beast. Splash! The pond water beneath them suddenly reacted. There is a reaction? After a while, something floated up. It was a part of a snake. It was dark green and as thick as a person's thigh. What a thick snake! To be precise, it is not a snake. It is a python. I didn't expect to see such a big python in a place like this. Miao Qingfeng said. Judging from this section alone, the python was estimated to be 7 to 8 meters long. Is it safe? It's about time. Let's go into the water. The two of them took out a bottle from their pockets at the same time. They poured out a black substance from the bottle and smeared it on their bodies. I'll go first. You go after me, Miao Qingfeng said. Before he could finish, Zhao Yunghao jumped into the water. Hey, you don't listen to me. When he saw this, he was not in a hurry to go down. Instead, He quietly looked at the pool. Zhao Yunghao quickly swam to the shore without any accident. Then, Miao Qingfeng jumped into the water and reached the shore smoothly. Why don't you listen to me? Hey, you are more experienced than me. If I have an accident in the water, you can save me easily. If you are the one in the water, I'm afraid I can't handle it, Zhao Yunghao said with a smile. Okay, let's go. The two of them moved forward carefully with guns. Wait, do you know how to shoot? Yes, I learned how to shoot when I was in college. I used it twice. That's good. Do you know how to shoot too? Of course. I used to be a soldier, Miao Qingfeng said. The two of them stopped after a few steps. F***ck. Miao Qingfeng was stunned. Zhao Yunghao, who was beside him, was also stunned. There were a few dead centipedes on the ground. Centipedes were not rare in the mountains. However, these centipedes were too big. Chapter 798. The centipede's dark red shell was shining like metal. Its legs were as sharp as knives. Is this an ancient creature? Zhao Yunghao was shocked. No, there are large centipedes in the subtropical rainforest of southern Yunnan, but this is the first time I have seen such a large one. Maybe it has something to do with the special environment here, Miao Qingfeng said. These people are not simple, Zhao Yunghao said. Yes, be careful, Miao Qingfeng said. Such a large centipede, which was highly poisonous, could be killed so easily. This meant that the remaining two people must be masters with unique skills. The sound of gunfire was getting closer and closer, but it was also getting weaker. Snake, you go first. I will cover you. Tat tat tat. The automatic rifle was spitting fire. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Miao Qingfeng and Zhao Yunghao were not in a hurry to get closer. They hid and observed secretly. Killer bees. There was a large swarm of black bees in the sky. The two people on the ground were struggling to hold on. They were in a mess. One of them was covered in blood. This kind of thing didn't only appear in movies and novels. In fact, people like them who often dealt with poisonous insects knew about this terrible poisonous insect. However, this was the first time he had seen such a big one. Was this a bee? Why did it feel like it was about the same size as a cicada? The key was that there were a lot of them. There were hundreds of them in a large swarm. It was a miracle that the two people were still alive. Junior, I think we should leave this place, Miao Qingfeng said softly. Why? Wang Yao asked. Those large centipedes are easy to deal with, but these killer bees are very difficult to deal with. I have a hunch that there must be something more terrible inside. It will not be easy to deal with. Isn't it a pity to just go back like this? Zhao Yunghao asked. It wasn't easy for them to find such a place, and the things they encountered along the way were too mysterious. They had never seen these creatures before, so there must be something that caused these creatures to change. Zhao Yunghao thought that since they were already here, they should investigate thoroughly. It's not a pity. If we don't leave now, we might have to stay here forever. Those two people are obvious examples. Ah! There was a blood-curdling scream. The gunshots stopped for a moment, and then they rang out again, but not as fiercely as before. Another one died. Now there's only one left. Let's go. Miao Qingfeng left as soon as he said that. He didn't hesitate at all. Just as he turned around, the sound of footsteps came from behind them. A man was staggering. His face was already badly mutilated and could not be seen clearly. One of his arms was broken, and the other hand was still holding a gun. He was only relying on his willpower to continue moving forward. In fact, he was already dying. He could not walk out at all. Let's go. Miao Qingfeng's face changed when he saw the man's condition. The two of them walked as if they were flying. They quickly shuttled through the dense forest in the valley. There seemed to be something chasing them from behind. It was very fast, and large areas of trees were falling down. Go! Miao Qingfeng threw out his precious wooden tripod, which landed on the ground. Buzz! A large number of poisonous insects flew out from the tripod. It was hard to imagine that such a small wooden tripod could release so many insects. After the insects flew out, they rushed straight into the forest. The two of them had already arrived at the shore, and the originally floating python had disappeared without a trace. Oh no! Miao Qingfeng threw another ecstasy pill into the water. Splash! Large areas of trees behind them fell down. Let's go! He could not wait any longer. He felt as if there was a knife on his back. It could pierce his heart from behind at any time. It must be something very scary. It was the same feeling he had when he faced the leader of the poisonous insects, the king of 5 poisons in the valley. The distance was more than 10 meters. The two of them were very fast. Miao Qingfeng, who was swimming in front, was suddenly pulled into the water by something. Senior! Zhao Yunho did not hesitate and dived into the water. After a while, the water turned red. Blood came out from under the water. The two of them poked their heads out. Don't worry about me. Go by yourself. Zhao Yunho did not say anything. He pulled Miao Qingfeng up the mountain. They arrived at the edge of the mountain. Catch me! Splash! The thing that had been chasing them revealed itself. It was a black-scaled python. The diameter of the python was more than 1 meter. The length of the python was not clear, but it was more than 10 meters long. Hurry up! Zhao Yunho used his hands and feet to crawl towards the entrance of the cave. The python coiled up and stretched out. It was more than 10 meters away. It came towards the two of them with its mouth wide open. Go! At the critical moment, Miao Qingfeng threw out a handful of poison. He hoped it could stop the python for a while. But it did not work at all. Bang! There was a loud noise. The two of them rolled into the hole, barely avoiding the fatal blow. With a crash, the rocks on the ground began to fall down. 1, 2, and then they continued to fall down. Oh no, the cave is going to collapse. Let's go. I'll carry you. Be careful. There are landmines. Zhao Yunho carried Miao Qingfeng and ran as fast as he could. Boom! A landmine was detonated, and the huge explosion accelerated the speed of the cave's collapse. Damn it! Bang! Bang! There were continuous explosions. Flames spurted out from the entrance of the cave. The two of them were thrown out of the cave and fell heavily on the ground. It was about 5 or 6 meters high. There were rocks and weeds on the ground. Both of them were injured, but they were still alive. Senior! I'm fine. I won't die. Miao Qingfeng's injuries seemed to be more serious. His 2 legs were badly mangled, and in some places white bones could be seen. He had been bitten by something in the pool just now. What kind of fish is it? It's so powerful. Zhao Yunho supported himself and took out a small bag from his pocket. There was a special ointment in the bag. He endured the pain and applied the ointment on Miao Qingfeng's legs. Should we tell Guli? I have to tell him. I don't want to be disabled. Miao Qingfeng smiled. They telephoned Guli. Then, the two of them found a place to rest for a while. In their current state, they couldn't rely on themselves to walk out of the forest. Senior, why is there such a big python in the valley? How would I know? There must be something special in there. We'll go in and have a look when we're well prepared. Okay. Do you want to die? Next time, it won't be just the two of us. Master will go back too. Miao Qingfeng said with a smile. He was sure that his master would definitely come out of the mountain to investigate after hearing the news. Can Marshal Uncle deal with that python? No problem. Master is almost an immortal, Miao Qingfeng said. Thousands of miles away in the mountain village. Do you want to become an immortal by staying in the mountain all the time? Wang Mingbao asked Wang Yao with a smile. What is an immortal? Wang Yao poured him a cup of tea. This sentence stunned him. He picked up the teacup and took a sip. Well, this tea is good. Wang Yao gave him a thumbs up. What kind of tea? Da Hong Pao from Mui Mountain. Don't tell me it's from those few plants? It's from those few plants. TSK, TSK, TSK. Wang Mingbao smacked his lips and poured himself a cup of tea. Is there more? Wang Yao asked. Not much. It was originally a small bucket. Su Xiaoshue's brother stole it. What? Stole it from Minister Su? Yes, Wang Yao said. Tisk, why? Giving your future brother-in-law a gift, isn't it the wrong way around? He was injured. I happened to save his life and a comrade's life. Wang Yao took a sip of the tea. Isn't it natural for a brother-in-law to be a brother-in-law? Wang Yao asked. Then why are there so many fallacies? Wang Yao asked with a smile. What about Ms. Han? Is she still working in the mountain village? Wang Yao asked. How could she? She's pregnant. It's inconvenient for her to be alone there. I tried my best to persuade her. She agreed to work in our county. Chapter 799. What kind of job? Wang Yao asked. She is still a teacher, Wang Mingbao said. She has experience in teaching, so there are relevant policies to take care of her. I have asked. Well, a teacher is very good, Wang Yao said. She has been pregnant for several months, Wang Mingbao said. I don't think she can work for more than a few days. Hey, are you free these 2 days? I'll bring her over. Can you take a look? What do you want to see? Wang Yao asked. Is the child a boy or a girl? Is the child healthy? Wang Mingbao asked. I can't tell if it is a boy or a girl, Wang Yao said. The medical equipment is so advanced now. It is better to go to the hospital for a prenatal checkup. I will go to the hospital and come to your place, Wang Mingbao said. I have double insurance. Okay, whatever you want. Have some tea. When are you and Xiaoxue going to get married? Well, I'm not sure yet, Wang Yao said. Hurry up, Wang Yao said. I think Xiaoxue is a good girl. Not to mention her family, she should be sincere to you. She is so sincere that even an outsider like me can feel it. You have to seize the opportunity. Well, I know, Wang Yao said. I also like her. You always stay in this mountain village, Wang Yao said. I think you are a Buddhist. Don't be like Tao Yuanming, who is picking chrysanthemums under the eastern fence and leisurely looking at the southern mountain. Hey, why don't you plant chrysanthemums? Wang Mingbao sat there for a long time and chatted with Wang Yao. Let's have dinner together tonight. Aren't you going back to accompany your wife? I asked for leave today. Did you drive here? Yes. Eat and chat, Wang Yao said. Don't drink. Okay, I will book a table for dinner tonight. Call Luchuan. Let's eat in Dao City. I know a restaurant with good food. It's up to you. That's settled, Wang Yao said. Let's go out for a walk. Don't always stay in the village. I think it is good to stay in the village. Wang Yao smiled and took a sip of tea. When the two came out of the clinic together, they met Zhong Luchuan was coming down from the mountain. He went to cultivate again? I'm used to it, Zhong Luchuan said with a smile. If I don't go every day, I always feel like something is missing. Are you free tonight? No. Let's go to Lianshan Town Center for dinner, said Wang Yao. All right. After informing his family, Wang Yao drove Zhong Luchuan to Lianshan County. You'll be responsible for drinking later, Wang Yao joked in the car. No problem. Drinking was not his strong suit, but he was not afraid of anyone. That's right, Zhong Luchuan replied without hesitation. Wang Mingbao called Pan Jun and Li Maoshuang. Both of them were in the city and were close by. He originally planned to call Tian Yuan too, but he was not in Lianshan County at this time. Let me say something first. Today is my treat. No one is allowed to compete with me to pay. Otherwise, I'll be anxious. The dishes were quickly served. The restaurant was famous for fish. It was a large pot of stewed fish, which was very delicious. While eating, Wang Yao's phone rang. He picked it up and saw it was Su Zhixing. "Hello, brother." "Brother-in-law, what are you busy with?" asked Su Zhixing. "I'm having dinner with a friend," said Su Zhixing. "Friend, is it a man or a woman?" asked Su Zhixing. "A man," Wang Yao said with a smile. "A woman is fine," said Su Zhixing. "I trust you. Let's get down to business. I have something to ask you for help with." "What is it?" asked Su Zhixing. "What you promised me last time," said Su Zhixing. "What did I promise you?" asked Su Zhixing. "Hey, it's only been a few days," said Su Zhixing. "Don't tell me you want to go back on your word. Come to us and guide us," said Su Zhixing. "You haven't recovered from your injury yet," said Su Zhixing. "Why are you worried about this? Wait a while. There's no hurry." "We're in a hurry," said Su Zhixing. "Why?" asked Su Zhixing. "The border is not peaceful," said Su Zhixing. "Some people don't give up on their evil intentions. I guess we'll have a mission soon. We have to prepare early." He didn't want another comrade to leave him forever. Wang Yao was silent for a while. "I'll find some time," said Su Zhixing. "Okay, go ahead and drink less," said Su Zhixing. "Don't make mistakes. If you make mistakes, don't be caught by others." "Okay, I got it," said Su Zhixing. After hanging up, Wang Yao returned to the private room. "What's going on?" said Wang Mingbao with a cigarette in his mouth. "It's been so long. Is it Xiaoxua checking on you at night?" said Su Zhixing. "It's not her," said Su Zhixing. "It's Big Brother." "Let's have a toast," said Su Zhixing. Several people at the table raised their wine glasses. Thousands of miles away, in a military camp in the mountains in the south, "How did it go?" asked Su Zhixing. He agreed, "but the time is not certain," said Su Zhixing. "We're in a hurry," said Su Zhixing. "We've found traces of them in southern Yunnan, but they're all dead. It's said that there are some strange people in China. We want to go there and have a look." "In China?" asked Su Zhixing. "Yes, there should be something in the jungle in southern Yunnan attracting them," said Su Zhixing. "Otherwise, why would they go there one after another without fear of death?" "Captain, I want to participate in this operation," said Su Zhixing. "Of course not," said Su Zhixing. "Your body hasn't recovered yet," said Su Zhixing. "You can't support a high-intensity battle. Don't force yourself. You'll attract the attention of other soldiers." Su Zhixing was silent. Although his words were not pleasant to hear, they were true. If he went to the battlefield in his current physical state, he would only be a burden to his comrades. "Stay here and recuperate," said Su Zhixing. "Don't think too much." Su Zhixing nodded reluctantly. "Since I can't go, then I'll try my best to get my capable brother-in-law to come and help." It was late at night. A car was driving on a road without street lights. "Sir, is there any medicine that can make people not drunk after 1,000 cups?" asked Zhong Luchuan, who was sitting in the front passenger seat. "Yes, but it's not that magical," said Wang Yao with a smile. "It's just a hangover." That night, the other three people were a little drunk. Although Zhong Luchuan had drunk more than half a kilogram of liquor, he was fine. His body had been trained for a long time and was far stronger than the average person. Recently, he had practiced the method of breathing that Wang Yao had taught him. The ability of his internal organs had been further strengthened. Drinking more than half a kilogram of liquor was nothing to him. Wang Yao caught a glimpse of someone in the field by the side of the road. Whoosh! Something was thrown out with a thud. Wang Yao slammed on the brakes. The car stopped after running a dozen meters. There was a sheep on the road that had been killed. 5 or 6 people rushed out from the side of the road with weapons in their hands. "Hey, how can you drive? Pay for it." "At this time, are you trying to blackmail me or rob me?" Zhong Luchuan asked with a smile. "Ah, it sounds like you know the business," a man said. "Hurry up and take out all the money so that you don't suffer." "Sir, leave it to me," the man said. "Okay, don't kill anyone," Zhong Luchuan said. "What? Don't kill anyone? Ha ha." Zhong Luchuan stepped out and instantly came in front of a person. He then punched. He used the ancient boxing method that Wang Yao had taught him. With a thud, a person was sent flying by the punch. Hey, how can you be so weak? Zhong Luchuan was stunned. Then, he instantly understood that it was not that the other party was weak, but that his strength had increased. Moreover, this boxing technique was very exquisite. The strength of this punch was beyond imagination, so he controlled his strength to avoid causing any trouble. In an instant, several people fell to the ground, wailing. Do you want more money? Don't. Where did the sheep come from? I stole it. Call the police, Wang Yao said. Let the police deal with them. They won't be able to leave for a while. After that, he slapped the air 5 times. Yes, sir, the man said. Wang Yao and Zhong Luchuan got in the car and left. The 5 people were lying on the ground. Hurry up and leave, the man said. Didn't you hear that they were going to call the police? My stomach hurts badly. Take me to the hospital, the man said. How can I have any strength? They wanted to run, but they found that they had no strength other than pain. They couldn't stand up or escape. They could only lie on the ground. After waiting for a while, they heard the sound of a police car. This made them even more anxious, but their bodies didn't listen to them at all. What's going on? I don't want to go to jail. F***ck, look at your virtue, the man said. You stole a sheep and went to jail. Jail? You are not qualified at all. Chapter 800. Oh, what's going on here? The 2 policemen arrived at the location indicated by the call. They saw a dead sheep and 5 people lying on the ground. Sir, our sheep was stolen. We chased after it, but we were beaten up and accused. The other party called the police, the man in the lead said. The policeman looked at him with a flashlight. Zhao Dahan, right? Do you believe what you're saying? The policeman actually knew the man. Where do you live? It's at least a dozen miles away from here, the policeman said. You came here in the middle of the night with 5 big men to catch a thief. I think you stole the sheep and waited for someone to take the bait. Come on, get up. Sir, we can't get up. Well, what's going on? The policeman asked. If we could get up, we would have run away. We wouldn't be waiting for you to catch us, a man whispered. That makes sense, the policeman said. Wait. There were only 2 policemen. The police car couldn't fit 5 people. After a while, another police car came. The 2 policemen got out. They were amused when they saw the 5 people. Hee, it's really interesting. After listening to their colleague's description, they felt that the incident was very interesting. It was obvious that they wanted to blackmail but failed. Instead, they were arrested. Let's go. Take them back to the station, the policeman said. Sir, I won't go to jail, right? One of the men trembled. It was the first time he had such close contact with a policeman. That depends on your performance, the policeman said. Let's go. Don't dawdle. The men were paralyzed. They were like soft-footed shrimps. They were half carried and half dragged into the police car. They were taken back to the police station. Look at how scared you are. I'm scared, the policeman said. What are you afraid of? The policeman asked. We just stole a sheep. We didn't steal anyone. Look at you. I won't participate next time, the policeman said. What? Didn't we agree to share blessings and misfortunes together? You've just encountered some difficulties and you're already backing down. Do you still want to have a big career? The policeman asked. Brother, we can't have a big career like this, the policeman said. Straighten your tongue before you speak, the policeman said. Why can't it work? We're already in the station. If this goes on, we'll be squatting in jail. Look at you. If you had been more careful, you wouldn't have been able to enter. Sigh, I'm not participating. After a short while, the 2 of them gave up. The newly formed group was about to fall apart. Look at you guys. Where is this person now? Zhao Dahan, come out! Hey hey! In less than 5 hours, this ambitious comrade immediately confessed everything. It was all about petty things. It was a typical case of difficult for a police officer to deal with, the kind that was infuriating. Soon, the few of them were called out one after another. Every one of them who could hold on for 2 hours confessed. It was all about stealing and molesting. It was not enough to warrant a sentence. They could only be locked up for 2 days and fined. Big brother, what's wrong with you? After they went back, one of them said while biting his tongue. Tongue, keep your tongue straight, Zhao Dahan said. I'm retreating in order to advance. What do you know? Big brother, we are just stealing. It's not murder or arson. If we can't bear it, we can't bear it. There's nothing to be ashamed of. The police also said that we won't be shot. Are you stupid? Zhao Dahan was angry after hearing that. Do you have any basic knowledge of the law? Stealing a sheep can be shot. It's a golden sheep. What's the noise? Be honest. The policemen outside shouted. The few of them were quiet. In the mountain village, Wang Yao stopped the car and went home. He told his family and then went up Nanshan Hill. In the mountain, after reciting a scripture, he turned off the lights and went to sleep. In the middle of the night, the dog lying in the kennel suddenly stood up and went to the herbal field. It walked back and forth. It seemed to be nervous. Flap, 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 the goshawk standing on the treetops also flapped its wings. Huh! Wang Yao, who was lying on the bed, suddenly opened his eyes and sat up from the bed. What's going on? He felt that the atmosphere around him was changing. It was a very sudden change. Rumble, the ground under his feet suddenly shook, and the shaking was very violent and very obvious. It was an earthquake. Woof, woof, woof. The dog barked. The goshawk spread its wings and rushed into the sky in the dark night. The earth shook violently for more than a minute. An earthquake could cause devastating damage in dozens of seconds, let alone 1 minute. However, during this minute, there seemed to be no obvious changes on the mountain. The trees were still there, the cottage was still there, and the dog was quiet again. The goshawk in the sky flew around Nanshan Hill a few times and then landed. Is everything okay down the mountain? He was a little worried about his family, so he hurried down the mountain. In the dark night, he was very fast. In the blink of an eye, he was at the foot of the mountain. After a few ups and downs, he came to the edge of the mountain village. The mountain village was still quiet. There was no sound, not even the sound of dogs barking. He walked around the mountain village, especially outside his house. There was nothing wrong with the mountain village. There shouldn't even be an earthquake here. Otherwise, the people in the village would have reacted. In that case, the abnormality just happened on Nanshan Hill. The mountain is growing again? When he reached the place where Nanshan Hill and Dongshan Hill met, he found that Nanshan Hill had risen again. This time, the height of the growth was a little bigger. It had risen by half a meter. This is strange. Wang Yao stared at Nanshan Hill. He looked carefully for a while and then went back in. Other than that, nothing else happened that night. Early the next morning, just after dawn, Wang Yao carefully walked around Nanshan Hill. In just one night, the mountain had grown by more than half a meter. The growth rate is really fast. Wang Yao sighed. The dog wagged its tail and came to Wang Yao. San Xian, did you feel anything last night? Woof. Nanshan Hill has grown taller again. It's growing faster than you. Woof. If it continues to grow at this speed, it will grow several meters a year, right? Wang Yao looked at the part where Dongshan Hill and Nanshan Hill met. In less than half a year, the mountain had grown by more than a meter. It was almost the height of a person. This mountain has a spirit. I need to plant more trees. He looked back at the foot of the mountain and felt that there were still a few trees. The trees seemed to grow a little slowly. Wang Yao stood alone on Nanshan Hill and looked down. Most of the land on the mountain and at the foot of the mountain was barren. The remaining people in the village were some old people. They could only grow some vegetables to eat. No one wanted to go to the trouble of coming to the mountain. Even if they had grain, it was a big problem to transport it down the mountain when it was time to harvest. Without mechanized equipment, even if it could be driven up the mountain, the cost was not low. He didn't know if he could make money by planting this acre of land. Now, the old people in the village just needed to earn enough to spend. In the afternoon, Wang Yao found Zhong Luchuan. "Can you help me with something?" "Yes, sir," Zhong Luchuan hurriedly said. "Plant trees." "Plant trees?" Zhong Luchuan was stunned. "Yes." "No problem." After receiving the call, Li Xiu Street quickly brought 3 trucks of trees. They dug holes and planted trees. The 2 of them were very fast, especially Wang Yao. With a shovel in his hand, a big hole suitable for planting trees appeared on the ground in a few moves. No matter what was inside, it would be easily dug out by him. This is also cultivation, Zhong Luchuan thought. Eating, living, sitting, lying, and walking were all cultivation. He clearly remembered that Wang Yao had said this sentence. "Sir, I think Nanshan Hill is not quite the same." In the afternoon, after the teacher and apprentice came to the place where Dongshan Hill and Nanshan Hill met again, Zhong Luchuan said, "Oh, what do you think is different?" Wang Yao asked with a smile. "It seems to be a little taller." "Your eyesight is very good," Zhong Luchuan said. "It is indeed a little taller. This mountain is growing taller." "Really?" Zhong Luchuan asked. "Of course it is true," Wang Yao said with a smile. "Come on, let's practice boxing." The teacher and apprentice practiced the ancient boxing. Chapter 801. For 3 days in a row, Wang Yao basically saw patients in the clinic in the morning and planted trees on the mountain with Zhong Luchuan in the afternoon. Soon, a small forest began to take shape. That afternoon, at about 3 p.m., a guest came to the mountain village. It was an old friend. Sun Yunxing came to visit Wang Yao with Hao. "Hello, sir." "Hello, please sit down." Zhong Luchuan made a pot of tea for them. "Thank you. What can I do for you?" "There is one thing. When you went to Dao last time, you seemed to be investigating something," Sun Yunxing said. Wang Yao didn't inform them in advance when he went last time. He didn't communicate with the Sun family when he was in Dao, so it was inconvenient for the Sun family to ask. "It is indeed for one thing. Sir, we recently found a company called Sihai Trading Company in Dao," Sun Yunxing said. "Some of them cooperate with the Japanese. On the surface, they are trading drugs and health products, but in fact, they are also trading human organs." "What?" Wang Yao was startled. "Human organs?" "Yes, their company sells human organs to the Japanese," Sun Yunxing said. "The main target is some homeless people, beggars, and foreign workers." Before he came, he was worried that the company had something to do with Wang Yao. Although the possibility was small, he made a special trip to confirm this matter. The relevant departments should immediately intervene in the investigation, right? They have already intervened. "Do you know this company?" Sun Yunxing was very euphemistic. "I went last time because of this company," Sun Yunxing said. "I was looking for one of them." "Their chairman, Zhang Wei?" "Yes." "The explosion was because of you?" Sun Yunxing instantly connected all these things. "It was because of me," Wang Yao said with a smile. "To be precise, it should be a trap." "That's good." Sun Yunxing breathed a sigh of relief after hearing this. In that case, they could continue with their next operation. "Sir, you are busy," Sun Yunxing said. "We still have something to do, so we will go back first." "Why don't you leave after dinner?" "No, we still have something to do," Sun Yunxing said. "We have to go." "Slow down." Wang Yao walked the 2 of them out of the clinic. "Sir, please wait." There were 2 high-end cars parked on the west side of the clinic. The company you used to work for is quite troublesome. They even resell human organs. They even have connections with Japan. I knew that he was in contact with Musashi Kojiro, Zhong Luchuan said. I didn't know that they were doing such things in secret. Logically speaking, this business should be quite profitable. There's no need to do those things. No one will complain about having too much money. Okay. Zhong Luchuan nodded. Sir, I'd like to go to Dao City in 2 days. Are you going to Dao City because of the past? Yes, let's go take a look. All right, let's go and have a look, Wang Yao said. Let me know before you leave so that I can prepare something for you. AI. Zhong Luchuan went back to prepare. That night, he came to see Wang Yao. Sir, I want to go to Dao City tomorrow. Okay, take this with you. Wang Yao gave him a small box, which was 1/3 the size of a matchbox. What is this? Intermittent ointment, Zhong Luchuan said. It can be used in an emergency. This is an elixir called the prolongation pill. At a critical moment, it can avoid death and prolong life. Wang Yao gave Zhong Luchuan all the 2 medicines he had as a precaution. Thank you, sir. Zhong Luchuan took the elixir. Looking at Wang Yao's attitude, he knew that the 2 medicines were precious. If you have any difficulties, you can find the Sun family in Dao City. This is their contact information. They are still very influential in Dao City. I know, sir. This time, he was just going to take a look. He was not going to fight with them. The next morning, Zhong Luchuan got on the bus to Dao City. He arrived at 11 a.m., a place he was very familiar with. The Four Seas Trading Company's business was not doing well these few days. After all, the police had just come over for a large-scale inspection and had taken away a few people. These people were already the main targets of concern. It would be strange if business was still good. In the coffee shop diagonally across the street, Zhong Luchuan ordered a cup of coffee and sat quietly. He sat for the whole afternoon. It's really a lot quieter. That night, in an inconspicuous small restaurant in Dao City, Zhong Luchuan had an appointment with someone. Why are you back? Why can't I come back? Zhong Luchuan asked with a smile. The company is very quiet, Zhong Luchuan said. Of course it is, the man said. The chairman hasn't appeared for nearly a month. I don't know if he is dead or alive. A few days ago, several people from the company were taken away by the Public Security Bureau. They are suspected of felony crimes. Now everyone is in danger. How many people in our company are clean? Then why are you still here? Zhong Luchuan asked. It's a few thousand yuan a month, the man said with a smile. Where is President Zhang? Zhong Luchuan asked. Near the reef beach, the man said. Do you know who has been in contact with him? Zhong Luchuan asked. It's hard to say, the man said after taking a sip of wine. Zhong Luchuan did not speak. He carefully stared at the man sitting opposite him for a while. What's wrong? Zhong Luchuan asked. Is it necessary to wear a mask when meeting me? Professional habit, the man said. How is Anshin? Very good, Zhong Luchuan said. She has recovered from her illness. The man sitting opposite him was a friend he had met in the company. In the process of performing another mission, he had saved the man's life. Therefore, they had formed a friendship. The meeting between the 2 people was very careful because the nature of the company was too special. That's good, the man said. You shouldn't have come back after leaving. I didn't come back, but the people in the company still came to find me, Zhong Luchuan said. Several waves of people have been there. After all, I have to make an end to it. The boss won't show up for the time being, the man said. It's just a matter of time, the man said. What's the purpose of this visit? To see. That's it? The man asked. It's that simple, the man said. That's good, the man said. Drink. The two men drank a bottle of wine and chatted for more than an hour. "Let's go," the man said. "I have to rest early at night. Otherwise, it's not good for the skin." After drinking the wine in the glass and eating a mouthful of food, the man turned and left. "It's still the same." Zhong Luchuan finished the rest of the wine alone. He went to the place where the man had just sat. There was a note and a phone number. "In a villa somewhere in Dao, Zhang-san. Do you have to think of a way?" "Think of a way?" "Our voice has been suppressed very badly. Why did the Sun family of Dao suddenly make a move?" Musashi Kojiro was very dissatisfied. "How would I know?" Zhang Wei, who was wearing a baseball cap, said with a smile. "They always report to me. It must be that your people did not do a good job and expose the business between us that can't be seen." "That's possible," Zhang Wei said. "Why is Zhang-san so calm?" "What can I do if I'm not calm?" Zhang Wei asked. "Isn't it obvious that the police will arrest him?" "What about the business between us?" "Of course, let it go first," Zhang Wei said. "Wait a while. There's no rush." "You can wait, but the people behind me can't wait." The man with the baseball cap suddenly turned his head and stared at the man next to him. "Musashi. I said wait, so you have to wait. 6 words, 1 word at a time. Do you have a problem?" His tone was as cold as a blade. "Okay." Musashi Kojiro took a deep breath. "Also, don't come to me in the future if you have nothing to do," the man said. "I want to leave Dao for a while." "I know," Musashi said. "I'll call you if something happens." Nothing happened that night. The next morning, somewhere by the sea in Dao. "When did you come?" "Yesterday morning," Zhong Luchuan said. "Tsk. Following Sir is not ordinary," Jiao Zizai said. "His temperament has changed." Jiao Zizai looked at Zhong Luchuan standing in front of him with a cigarette in his mouth. They hadn't seen each other for a long time, but he seemed to have changed into a different person. "Where is Mr. Zhang?" "Near the reef beach," Jiao Zizai said. "Definitely not," Zhong Luchuan said. "At least, he won't be there now." Chapter 802. Are you saying that he ran away? It's very possible. Zhong Luchuan looked at the sea in front of him. If he ran away, it would be a big problem. Ring. Buzz. A mobile phone rang. Jiao Zizai picked it up and looked at it. Her face changed greatly. "You are right. He is really going to run away. You have planted people around him," Zhong Luchuan said. "When the tree falls, the monkeys scatter," Zhong Luchuan said. "There are too many people who want to rebel against him. Dao is not small, but it is not big either. He thinks that his property in Dao is very confidential. In fact, it has been found out long ago. He just didn't say it. The problem now is how to deal with him. The key is to not let the things in his hands play a role, right?" "Oh, this is a big problem," Zhong Luchuan said. "Who knows how many backups he has? To be honest, how much dark information does he have on us?" "No one knows," Zhong Luchuan said. "I am afraid only he knows." Over the years, their company had been doing the killing and robbery business behind the scenes. Every business, who did it, and how much it cost were all recorded. Any one of them could be the answer. Some of them were even major cases. 1 or 2 of them were even earth-shattering. When these things broke out, it was equivalent to detonating a super-large bomb, enough to shock the whole country. "This world is too dark," Jiao Zizai said without any reason. "Why are you sighing?" "Let's think about what to do," Zhong Luchuan said. "There is no way," Zhong Luchuan said. "Take him down." "And then?" Zhong Luchuan asked. "We have a few suspects," Jiao Zizai said. "Take them all down." No one in their line of work was a soft-hearted person. At the critical moment, it was necessary to be ruthless. If they were indecisive, they would die without leaving even their bones. Zhong Luchuan nodded. There was no better way to deal with this matter. This was the only way. If they were indecisive, they would be in trouble. If only we knew who he really trusted, Jiazazai said. Have you checked them all? I've checked all the people I thought were close to him. Then investigate those who are not close to you. You don't have any contact with them on a daily basis. They might be your trusted aides. You can ask the Sun family for help and temporarily detain them for a period of time. As for the reason, it should be easy to find, right? That's right, he knows how to disguise himself. You have to be careful. The two of them talked for less than 10 minutes before Jiazazai left in a hurry. Zhong Luchuan stood there alone and continued to watch the sea, the ebb and flow of the tide. Spectacular! He stood by the seaside and watched quietly. The sky darkened and it was evening. Then, he turned around and slowly left. That night, the Sun family received news that Mr. Zhang might be leaving. Zhong Luchuan personally went to find the eldest son of the Sun family. Then, the Sun family's ability began to show. Mr. Zhang, who tried to fly abroad through the airport, was stopped. The reason was very simple. He carried a prohibited item in his luggage, a very sharp knife. In the police station, he was a rather honest-looking man. Tell me, what's the matter with this knife? Sir, I really don't know what's going on, the man said. I didn't put the knife in. If it's not you, who is it? I really don't know, the man said. You can check it. There are definitely no fingerprints on it. Zhang Wei, where do you work? I run a company, the man said. What company? Sihai Trading Company, the man said. Well, the name sounds familiar, the man said. Isn't this the boss of the company whose villa was bombed last month? So, you didn't die? No, Zhang Wei said after thinking for a while. Then, why don't you come out and say who died? The man asked. I don't know who it is, Zhang Wei said. I just felt that my life was threatened, so I went into hiding. Then, why didn't you call the police? The man asked. I didn't dare to show my face, Zhang Wei said. Who threatened you? The man asked. I don't know, Zhang Wei said. You don't know? The man asked. Yes, I didn't know, so I hid, the man said. I felt that something was wrong recently, so I wanted to go out and hide, but I don't know why this happened again. The policeman in charge of the interrogation was also surprised. He didn't expect that a phone call from the higher-ups would bring out so many things. Do you have any enemies? The policeman asked. Well, no. He shook his head. You don't know anything about this, the policeman said. Think about it. If you think of anything, just tell us. Hey, sir, I didn't do anything wrong, did I? The policeman asked. Tell us about the knife first, the policeman said. The two policemen went out after they finished talking. Only Zhang Wei was left in the room. He lowered his head and stared at the ground. He didn't move for a long time. No one knew what he was thinking. How was it? Did you get anything? The policeman asked. We got a lot of interesting things. Take a look, the policeman said. The victim of the bombing, he didn't die? The policeman asked. After we confirmed his identity, we confirmed that it was him. He didn't die. He just went into hiding. Maybe he was afraid? Why did he suddenly fly abroad? The policeman asked. He said he didn't feel good. Feeling? What kind of reason is that? The policeman asked. That's what he said, but I guess he didn't tell the truth. There must be something else that he didn't explain clearly. Well, it's very possible. His company has found that several people are wanted criminals, and they are all involved in major cases. As the chairman of the company, how could he not know about it? Maybe he deliberately covered it up. What about the treatment of him? The policeman asked. Detain him first, the policeman said. The knife, his company, and the explosion at his house are all suspicious. We have to ask clearly. Yes, sir, the policeman said. After leaving the bureau, the policeman drove to another place. Captain Liu, the policeman said. Mr. Sun, sorry to keep you waiting, the policeman said. No, I just arrived, the policeman said. Has the man been caught? The policeman asked. He has been caught. There are many suspicious points, the policeman said. Thank you for providing reliable information. It was indeed the Sun family. They hadn't figured out these things yet, but the other party actually knew about it first. Although they didn't know why the other party suddenly made a move, it was a good thing for them. The previous cases could be dealt with together. The focus was Zhang Wei, who was just arrested a few days ago. I have some information here. Captain Liu, you can take a look. Sun Yunxing handed a file bag to the policeman. He took it and looked at it. His face changed greatly. What is this? The policeman asked. I got this by accident, Sun Yunxing said. I don't think such a thing should happen in Dao, so I asked Captain Liu for help. Does this matter have anything to do with Sihai Trading Company? The policeman asked. They are the main partners of this company, the policeman said. Recently, their company has had one incident after another. There are several wanted criminals in a company. Shouldn't such a company be suspicious? The policeman asked. We also think they are suspicious, but we didn't expect them to be involved in such a big case. I need to report this matter to the higher-ups. Please, but do it as soon as possible, the policeman said. Thank you, the policeman said. You're welcome, Sun Yunxing said. I just did my duty as an ordinary citizen. After Captain Liu left, Sun Yunxing didn't rush to leave. Instead, he continued to sit in his original position and quietly drink tea. Mr. Sun, Zhong Luchuan is here, the policeman said. Come in, Sun Yunxing said. Mr. Sun, Zhong Luchuan said. Brother Zhong, don't call me that, Sun Yunxing said. You are too polite. I actually wanted to be Mr. Sun's disciple. Unfortunately, I didn't have the opportunity. I didn't expect Brother Zhong to catch up with me. Please sit down, Sun Yunxing said. Chapter 803. I will do what Sir told me to do, Sun Yunxing said with a smile. Just keep Mr. Zhang in the police station for a while, Zhong Luchuan said. We want to check his background. Of course, it would be better if you could help. No problem, Sun Yunxing immediately said. How, you do this yourself? Zhong Luchuan said to the man next to him. Yes, sir, Hao said. How long are you going to stay in Dao? 3 days, then I will go back, Zhong Luchuan said. Why are you in such a hurry? Don't you want to stay in Dao for a few more days? Sun Yunxing asked. He didn't have much contact with Zhong Luchuan, but he was sure that he was the second disciple of Wang Yao. This was enough to show his importance in Wang Yao's heart. Such a person naturally had to be well acquainted. Yes, I am here to confirm some things, Zhong Luchuan said. It is best to solve some things. He was a little confused. After all, those were his dark history. It was not appropriate to say too clearly. Okay, if there is anything else you need me to do, please let me know. Zhong Luchuan didn't talk too much with him. Although they had met several times, they were not close friends. It was a big taboo to talk too much with a stranger. After Zhong Luchuan left for a while, Hao said, Sir, he used to be a member of the Sihai Trading Company. Oh, that's interesting. Sun Yunxing smiled. He hadn't thought of this before. So, he may have committed crimes before? It is very likely. Forget it, Hao said. Since Sir has accepted him as a disciple, he naturally trusts him. We will pretend that we don't know about some things. Yes. On this day, another major event happened in Dao. A big case broke out. An organization that sold human organs was discovered. Several suspicious people were arrested. There were 3 of them. 2 of the 3 people used to work in the Sihai Trading Company? Yes, Captain, Hao said. What a coincidence. I think this is definitely not a coincidence. This Sihai Trading Company is not the leader behind the scenes. Hasn't Mr. Zhang been detained? Interrogate him carefully. Ring, ring, ring. The phone rang. I am. What? What happened? What happened? Zhang Hai is missing. He escaped from the detention center. What? Escape and prison break had not happened in Tao for more than 10 years. There must be something wrong with him. Issue an arrest warrant and request a citywide search. An arrest warrant was issued, and the entire city was searched. Investigate the people of the Four Seas Trading Company carefully. There must be more problems. In a tea house in Tao City. TSK. Searching the whole city. Our chairman is about to become a street rat. Jia Zizai said leisurely with a cigarette in his mouth. You are quite leisurely. At this time, he may do anything. Don't worry. Don't worry, as long as he hasn't been caught and his life isn't in danger, he definitely won't do those things. This is something that offends the public, and he knows it in his heart. Besides, the situation last time was worse than this time, but he still got through it. Our chairman's ability to withstand pressure is very strong. With his ability, as long as he wants to leave Tao City, with these forces here, they definitely won't be able to stop him. Not to mention catching him, I'm afraid they won't even be able to touch his sleeves. When will this matter end? Hu Mei sighed. Soon. Jia Zizai reached out and smoothed her hair. When this matter is over, we will find a leisurely place, have a few more children, and live a happy life. Okay. Hu Mei's eyes were full of tenderness and sweetness. If so, it would be the best. However, most things in the world did not go as planned. That afternoon, Jia Zizai was invited to the police station for questioning. His background was still clean. At least, it seemed to be clean for now. He did not ask anything, but he was asked not to leave Tao City in the near future. This was a restriction on his personal freedom. Where did President Zhang go? On the reef beach of Tao City. A man wearing a baseball cap stood there quietly, looking at the wave. You're really here? A person appeared behind him. Luchuan, why are you back? I came back to see you, Zhong Luchuan said with a smile. He always kept a certain distance from the other person. I haven't seen you for a long time, Zhong Luchuan said. President Zhang, now the whole Tao City is looking for you, Zhong Luchuan said. You are still here enjoying the scenery. This mentality is really admirable. Whenever there are some difficult things to solve, I always come here, Zhong Luchuan said. Do you know why? Zhong Luchuan did not speak. He just shook his head. Because the first time I killed someone was here, Zhang Wei said. That was the most difficult decision I have ever faced in my life. It was also that time that completely changed the trajectory of my life, Zhang Wei said. You haven't told anyone else about this, have you? You are the sixth person to know, Zhang Wei said. What about the other 5 people? Zhong Luchuan asked. They are all dead, Zhang Wei said with a sigh. So, I am in danger, Zhong Luchuan said. Zhang Wei turned around and looked at him quietly. I really can't figure out why you came here to find me, Zhang Wei said. Zhang Wei took off his hat. Half of his head was bald. It seemed that he was actually an ordinary middle-aged man who worked hard to make a living. However, anyone who underestimated the enemy died very miserably. What about your sister? Zhong Luchuan asked. She is fine, Zhang Wei said. TSK, don't worry, Zhang Wei said. No matter where she is, I will find her for you and take care of her. After speaking, Zhang Wei came to Zhong Luchuan's side. He seemed to have crossed the distance of 4 or 5 meters in one step. So fast. Zhong Luchuan sighed. If it had been in the past, he would not have been able to avoid it. He would have been defeated by this move. In other words, he would have been killed in seconds. Now, however, things were different. With one step, he avoided it. Zhang Wei exclaimed. Apparently, he did not expect Zhong Luchuan to be able to avoid it. In fact, Zhong Luchuan not only avoided it, but also launched an attack. He punched out from a very tricky angle. Zhang Wei stretched out his hand and slapped it. Ouch! It hurts. Zhong Luchuan felt that what had just hit him was like a mace. The pain of the impact on his palm was severe. Something had invaded his body, but it quickly dissipated. The two of them jumped back and forth on the reef. Their speed was extremely fast, like two big birds. Retreat. Zhong Luchuan decisively chose to retreat. After this short fight, he knew that he was no match for Zhang Wei. If he continued to fight, he might have died there. Want to leave? It's too late. Zhang Wei waved his hand. With a hissing sound, several thin needles shot into Zhong Luchuan's body. He groaned and jumped a few times. His movements were very strange. He instantly disappeared into the forest by the sea. You can't get away. Zhang Wei followed behind. After entering the forest, he found that there was no trace of Zhong Luchuan. What's going on? He was stunned. Poof, poof, poof. 3 muffled sounds were heard. He took a few steps back. His face became very ugly. He still has helpers? A car was speeding on the road. You are really brave, Jia Zizai, who was driving, said. You actually dared to fight one-on-one. How was it? I was no match for him, Zhong Luchuan said. Even if we worked together, we were no match for him. There were a total of 3 people in the car. They were 2 men, plus Hu Mei, who was not much worse than them. So powerful. Well, his kung fu is indeed powerful, Hu Mei said. He is proficient in hidden weapons and flying needles. I haven't seen the knife you mentioned. The 3 shots I just shot definitely hit him. I have checked, Hu Mei, who was sitting in the back, said. He is fine. Invulnerable? Well, when I fought with him, I had a brief contact with him. His skin was very strange. What kind of weird is that? I felt like I was hitting an iron sheet. It was very hard, Zhong Luchuan said after thinking for a while. He felt the same way when he fought with Zhang Wei. His strength is also very strong, far stronger than ordinary people, Zhong Luchuan said after thinking for a moment. Chapter 804. Is he from the Shaolin Temple and learned Vajra Unbreakable? Jia Zizai rubbed his chin. Is there really such a skill? Zhong Luchuan asked. Well, it's been shown on TV, Jia Zizai said. Sure enough, it was not very reliable. But I didn't expect you to have such courage. You have indeed made great progress by following Mr. Wang, Zhong Luchuan said. If I don't try, how would I know how difficult it is to deal with him? Do you know now? Yes, Zhong Luchuan said. Why don't you go back and tell Mr. Wang about this matter, and ask him to do something? Didn't he come here some time ago? Zhong Luchuan did not speak. He turned his head and quietly looked at Jia Zizai. Well, what's wrong? Didn't I wash my face? Or have I become more handsome? Jia Zizai touched his face. I just think that some things are better done by ourselves, Zhong Luchuan said. Try not to trouble Mr. Wang. He is my master. As a disciple, I should share his worries and not bring him trouble. Wow, what kind of spirit is this? Jia Zizai asked. In such a short time there has been such a big change. I suddenly feel that it is necessary for me to go to the mountain village again and kneel in front of his door to ask him to accept me as his disciple. Zhong Luchuan did not speak. He was silent for a while. No matter how strong a tiger is, it is afraid of a pack of wolves. It is better to find the evidence he has. In the afternoon, the sky was slightly gloomy. In a corner of Dao there was a dilapidated villa area, which was very rare in Dao, where real estate was very popular. In a villa there were 2 people. Are you sure? I think I may not be able to avoid it this time. Zhang Wei took off his hat and combed his hair. You can't avoid it? My hunch has always been very accurate, Zhang Wei said. The last time was more troublesome than the last time, Zhang Wei said. It's not the same, Zhang Wei said. What about the things you gave me? Destroy them, Zhang Wei said. Destroyed? Are you sure? The man was shocked. Wouldn't that be letting them off too easily? Wang Yao asked. Remember, there's no such thing as benefiting others. Some things can be done to benefit oneself at the expense of others. But some things can't be done to benefit oneself at the expense of others. There's no point in doing it. It's just to make some irrelevant people happy. Besides, the things I have in my possession involve too much content. There is actually no evidence for a considerable portion of it. Even if it is leaked, it will only cause a temporary disturbance. It is better to destroy it. I understand. However, the part in Japan must not be destroyed. Keep it for me. I still need it. Understood. For the first 30 years of my life, I had no choice. For the last 15 years, it was the same. I trembled with fear, as if I was treading on thin ice. Zhang Wei sighed. You can actually live with another identity. I can't change it and I can't go back. In a guild hall in Dao City. After receiving a call from Wang Yao, Zhong Luchuan immediately rushed over. He didn't expect to see Sun Yunxing. Sir, why are you here? I saw the news on the website, Wang Yao said. I was a little worried, so I came to take a look. Did you see that person? Sun Yunxing asked. Yes, I fought with him, Zhong Luchuan said. How was it? Sun Yunxing asked. I was no match for him. Zhong Luchuan described some of the details of the fight in detail. Interesting, Sun Yunxing said. Can you find out where this person is? I'll try my best, sir, Sun Yunxing said. In Dao City there were millions of people. It was very troublesome to find a person. If one spent money to find a person, it was much easier. When the money was large, it was even easier. That night, Sun Yunxing brought the news. We found him, sir. If it weren't for Wang Yao's arrangement, they wouldn't have intervened in this matter. Using the underground power controlled by the Sun family, coupled with the power on the surface, was very terrible. Where is he? Sun Yunxing asked. Here, in an abandoned villa area in Dao, Sun Yunxing said. I'll go and have a look, Sun Yunxing said. Now? Sun Yunxing asked. Yes, now, Sun Yunxing said. At night, Dao City was still bustling. However, in the suburbs, it was not as good. There was an abandoned villa area at the junction of the suburbs. The owner who developed this area was unable to continue because of the broken capital chain. No one was willing to accept it, so it became an unfinished building. This was very rare in the current situation of real estate in Dao City. This place was pitch black and overgrown with weed. Looking from afar, it looked like a ghost town. It's here, sir, Sun Yunxing said. Here. Wang Yao sat in the car and looked up at the sky. It's interesting, Sun Yunxing said. You wait here, Sun Yunxing said. I'll go and have a look. Sir, can I go with you? Zhong Luchuan asked. I'll go too, Jia Zizai said. Too many people may alert the enemy, Sun Yunxing said. If we don't go with you, I'm afraid you'll recognize the wrong person, Sun Yunxing said. Well, let's go together, Sun Yunxing said. The few of them got out of the car, leaving Hu Mei alone in the car. Then, they headed towards the abandoned villa area. It was very quiet all around. The wind blew the grass, making a slight noise. It's dark. Is there anyone here? The abandoned house stood there quietly. Wang Yao stopped. What's wrong, sir? There's someone inside, Sun Yunxing said. After speaking, he began to speed up. Behind him, Zhong Luchuan and Jia Zizai quickened their pace. In an abandoned villa, a man stood quietly in front of a glassless window. Is someone here? Inside, Sun Yunxing said. Wang Yao found the villa very accurately. He went inside and saw President Zhang, who looked very ordinary. He sat there quietly and looked at the three people who came in. Luchuan, Jia Zizai, you are here too. This is? He looked at Wang Yao. Hello, my name is Wang Yao, Sun Yunxing said. Hello, Zhang Wei, Wang Yao said with a smile. It's so late. You didn't come here to catch up with me, did you? Yes, we were a little worried about you, so we came to see you, Jiazizai said. At this time, you don't have to be so hypocritical, Zhang Wei said. I'm afraid you don't feel at ease with me alive. You are very sick, Wang Yao said. Huh. Zhang Wei was stunned. You are poisoned, Sun Yunxing said. How can you tell? Zhang Wei was shocked. He was indeed seriously ill, and he was suffering from a highly toxic poison. You're cooperating with the Japanese because you want to use their advanced technology to prolong your life, right? The so-called organ trafficking is actually for experiments, right? Wang Yao made a guess. Amazing, Zhang Wei said after a moment of silence. Jiao Zizai and Zhong Luchuan were also stunned. In their opinion, the chairman, who had always been invincible and had crushed everyone else in the company, was actually a seriously ill person. Even though he was ill, he was still so powerful. If his body was healthy, how amazing would it be? It's useless to say more, Zhang Wei said. Since you are here, let's do it. Your current physical condition is not suitable for you to use Neishi, Wang Yao said. Otherwise, the poison will only spread faster. You can see that, Zhong Luchuan said. Neishi. He can use Neishi. Their black information? Wang Yao pointed to the two people behind him. It will be exposed after I die, Zhong Luchuan said. Suddenly, the atmosphere in the air became a little tense. Let's go. Wang Yao stared at him for a while, then turned and left. Sir, why? Jiao Zizai was surprised. What is there to talk about with a dying man? If you want to leave, you have to ask me, Zhang Wei said calmly. Wang Yao turned and came in front of Zhang Wei in an instant. He pressed in the air. With a thud, Zhang Wei knelt on the ground. His whole body seemed to be shackled by thousands of pounds of shackles. He could not move. He urged the Neishi in his body to be able to move a little. His eyes changed. They were not as calm as they had been before. Who are you? I am me, Wang Yao said. Don't urge your Neishi. Wang Yao reached out and pressed several acupoints on his body. Huh! He reached out and grabbed Zhang Wei's arm. He lifted his sleeve. His skin had a metallic luster, but it was hard and not flexible enough. Chapter 805. Your skin has been soaked in a potion, Wang Yao said after taking a look. Zhang Wei did not speak. There was only shock in his eyes. Where did this young man come from? He could control him so easily. He had no ability to resist. The last time he felt so powerless was 15 years ago. He did not expect to encounter it again 15 years later. The new generation would surpass the old. Soaked in medicine, Wang Yao calmly said. The medicine entered the skin and muscles, so it was invulnerable. The strength was far beyond that of ordinary people. Next, the medicine should have entered the organs. Unfortunately, you did not succeed. Otherwise, you would not have been infected with deadly poison. Zhang Wei's body trembled slightly. What this young man had just said was not wrong. Let's go. Wang Yao let go of his hand and turned to leave. Huh! Jiao Zizai was still hesitant. He stood there and looked at Zhang Wei, who was in a daze. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If he missed it, he would not have another chance. A knife flashed. What are you doing? Zhong Luchuan grabbed his hand. This is a rare opportunity. Didn't you hear Sir's instructions? Sir is being soft-hearted, Jiao Zizai said. He is letting the tiger go back to the mountain. What he said was from the bottom of his heart. He quite disagreed with Wang Yao's approach just now. Yes, Zhang Wei might be a dying man, and he posed no threat to Wang Yao. Wang Yao could control him with one hand. However, it was different for them. Not only did Zhang Wei have their dark information, but his strength was also too high. He was not someone they could deal with at all. Let's go, Wang Yao said again. Sigh. Jiao Zizai sighed and left unwillingly. After coming out of the abandoned villa, Jia Zizai could not help but complain. Sir, you may regret the mistake you made tonight. He won't live long. The things he has are fatal to us. Even if you kill him, can you guarantee that those things won't spread? Wang Yao stopped and asked. Or do you want to capture him and torture him as much as you can? In any case, I don't think it's appropriate to let him go. It's like letting a tiger return to the mountain. Wang Yao smiled and said nothing more. He lied. What lies? It was him. He said that the information he had would be exposed after his death. He would not expose it. Are you sure? More than 60%. It's a bomb anyway, the kind that hasn't been defused. Jia Zizai said. He didn't want to live in fear all the time in the future. He didn't want to worry every day about when that thing would break out and completely disrupt his life. How is it? Hu Mei, who was waiting for them in the car, asked after they got into the car. He's over there. Jia Zizai lit a cigarette. Done? Ah no, he was released by Sir. Released? Hu Mei was stunned. How could he be released? He won't live long, Zhong Luchuan replied. Won't live long? Is he seriously ill? He's been poisoned very deeply. No wonder. Even when he came to the company, he stayed in the office. Someone once smelled blood in his office. It turned out that he was poisoned. Hu Mei said. I originally thought that he killed someone in the office. Ah. Jia Zizai sighed and stopped talking. He was obviously very unhappy. Hu Mei didn't ask any more questions. She drove away and sent Wang Yao and Zhong Luchuan back to their hotel. What's going on? After the two of them got out of the car and entered the hotel, Hu Mei couldn't help but ask. Hey, let's go home and talk about it. Jia Zizai slammed his fist on the glove box in front of the passenger seat, breaking the plastic case directly. Hu Mei glanced at him and started the car. Soon, the two of them returned to their residence in Dao. After returning home, Jia Zizai lit a cigarette and took out a bottle of wine. He opened it and drank directly from the bottle. What the hell is going on? Sir, you let Zhang Wei go, Jia Zizai said. You've released a tiger back to the mountain. He said it in the car. Why? He just saw that he was poisoned and didn't have much time left, Jia Zizai said. This is a woman's kindness. With a bang, Jia Zizai threw the wine bottle on the table. Did Sir subdue Zhang Wei? Jia Zizai asked. It was easy, Jia Zizai said. As soon as he made a move, Zhang Wei couldn't resist at all. I thought he was a substitute. Did Sir hurt him? Hu Boi continued to ask. What do you mean? Jia Zizai was stunned. If Sir had seriously injured him, we could have killed him if he hadn't been killed, Hu Mei said. That would have been the end of it. No, Jia Zizai said. Sir used the same technique as when he subdued me. When he pressed on the void, it was like a mountain was pressing on his body. He couldn't resist at all, but he didn't hurt his body. I don't know what Sir is thinking, Hu Mei said. His thoughts are naturally not the same as ours, Jia Zizai said. After all, he doesn't have any black information in his hands. Hu Mei was silent for a while. He doesn't, but Zhong Luchuan does. Isn't he his disciple? God knows what he is thinking. Jia Zizai picked up the wine bottle and gulped down 2 big mouthfuls of wine. In the hotel, Wang Yao and Zhong Luchuan chatted casually. Can't you figure out what happened tonight? There is nothing I can't figure out, Zhong Luchuan said. In fact, I don't particularly hate him. I'm just worried that it will affect my normal life in the future. When a man is about to die, his words are kind, Wang Yao said. Some people, after drinking a glass of bad things, suddenly figured it out and began to do good things. However, they found that it was too late. Maybe he has figured it out, Zhong Luchuan said. In fact, Sir is right, Zhong Luchuan said. Even if we killed him, if he wanted to expose those things, we couldn't stop him. Just a little unwilling? Zhong Luchuan asked. Indeed, I am a little unwilling, Zhong Luchuan said. Wang Yao was silent for a while. Don't worry, it's all right, Wang Yao said. If something happens, I will help you solve it, Zhong Luchuan said. In fact, I didn't intend to trouble you with this matter, Zhong Luchuan said. No matter how Wang Yao handled it, he wouldn't blame him. He didn't need to care about this matter. You don't have to be so courteous, Wang Yao said with a smile. I will go back tomorrow, Zhong Luchuan said. I will go back with you, Zhong Luchuan said. The night was quiet. In the abandoned villa, Zhang Wei quietly looked at the sky outside. No one knew what he was thinking. He is so young. How could he have such cultivation? He couldn't figure it out. He really couldn't figure it out. The next morning, Wang Yao took the initiative to go to the Sun family's house. He greeted Sun Jingrong and invited the father and son to have lunch together. In fact, the Sun family had helped him a lot these few times. Wang Yao wanted to thank them properly. Thank you for your help. Sir, you are welcome, Sun Yunxing said. Actually, I have a presumptuous request, Wang Yao said. What is it? Wang Yao asked. I want to be your disciple and learn kung fu, Sun Yunxing said with a smile. Yes, as long as you can work hard, Wang Yao said. Sir, are you serious? Sun Yunxing was very surprised. He just said it casually. In fact, he didn't have much hope in his heart. He didn't expect Wang Yao to agree. I don't want to be your master, but I can teach you kung fu, Wang Yao said. How can I do that? If I learn from him, I'll be his master. Yes, we have to formally acknowledge him as our master, Sun Jingrong said. He also hoped that their relationship with Wang Yao could be further improved. I'm not too particular about that. It's just that you have too many things to do. I'm afraid you don't have much time to rest your martial arts, right? I'll try my best to find time. Okay, as long as I'm in the mountain village, you can study at any time. Even if I'm not there, you can ask Luchuan, Wang Yao said. Yes, I need to know how to address you. Greetings, senior brother. Hello, junior brother. Zhong Luchuan changed his attitude quickly. Today is a joyous occasion. Come, let me toast you. Sun Jingrong stood up and said. I wouldn't dare. Please take a seat, Wang Yao said hurriedly. This time, the incident in Dao City has caused quite a stir, Wang Yao said. Not only the provincial government, but even the higher-ups have asked about it. After all, this is a window city. Chapter 806. The higher-ups are paying attention to it, Sun Jingrong said. Dao City has to take action. It is estimated that it will involve a considerable number of people. Well, that's understandable. Wang Yao said, in fact, such a thing, no matter where it happened, would have a considerable negative impact. In front of you, sir, you're not an outsider. In fact, our Sun family also has some business dealings with that company in Dongying. This time, thanks to you, we cut off our dealings with them in time. Will it affect you? More or less, but limited, Sun Jingrong said. He was still a little scared when he thought about this matter. They got the news in time and escaped. As he said just now, although there was an impact, it was still a little worse. Moreover, they had also contributed to this matter, more or less making up for it. However, if they had delayed their escape until now, then the result would be different. It would be too late to smooth things over. Some things, one day earlier and one day later, would definitely have two different results. If you need any help, just let me know. Okay, Sun Jingrong said. The young man in front of them was now in contact with some people that they might not be able to see on a normal day. Sometimes the words of these people carried a lot of weight. After dinner, Wang Yao and Sun Yunxing returned to Lianshan County in the afternoon. Sun Yunxing repeatedly said that he would go to the mountain village as soon as possible to receive Wang Yao's teachings. In the abandoned villa, Zhang Wei lit a cigarette for himself. He hadn't smoked for more than 10 years. Because of his body, he used to be a smoker. Big brother, why are you smoking? A man in his 30s appeared in the abandoned villa and said in surprise when he saw the dispirited expression on the man's face. "I suddenly feel like tasting it," he said as he leisurely blew out smoke rings. "Didn't you say that smoking this kind of thing would affect your body and possibly cause a toxic reaction in your body?" "Sigh, all these years I've been on tenterhooks because of this poison," he said with a smile. "I can't eat this, I can't drink that, and I can't touch women. I've been living like an ascetic monk. Now that I think about it, it's really boring." "But at least you've lived for more than 10 years. Yeah, allez, what would you do if you knew you were close to death?" "This?" The man lowered his head and pondered for a moment. "I want to do something that I want to do. I don't even have a child. The money I earn is just a worldly possession. I don't bring it with me when I'm born, and I won't bring it with me when I die. All these years there are some things that I really want to do, but I haven't done them. In order to survive, I've done a lot of things that I don't want to do. I don't want to continue like this," Zhang Wei said. In one night, he figured out many things. "If you can be a good person, who would want to be a bad person?" He sighed. "Are you free tonight? Let's have dinner together?" "Okay, I'll arrange it. What would you like to eat?" "Let's have a hot pot. It's spicy." "You can eat to your heart's content," Zhang Wei said with a smile. "No problem. What about the things I asked you to deal with?" "It's all burned." Good job," Zhang Wei said with a smile. "Big brother, is there anything else?" "There's no more." "Then, can I talk to you?" Seeing that Zhang Wei's mood was not right, he whispered. "Okay, talk to me." In less than an hour in the afternoon, Zhang Wei had spoken more than he had in a year. He had suppressed his emotions for too long. He had kept a lot of things in his heart and kept them to himself. He could not tell anyone. But now, he treated the person next to him as an audience and listened to him talk about his childhood and the mistakes he had made over the years. He had kept all these things in his heart and had never told anyone about them. In a hidden place outside the villa, the two of them were hiding in the dark. "I didn't expect it to be him. Allez. The person who usually doesn't show up and has the least sense of existence is actually his confidant. How ironic," Jiao Zizai said. "What time is it now? You still want to eat hot pot? How interesting. Do you believe him? Has it all been destroyed?" Hu Mei asked. Her tone was obviously disbelieving. Last night, when they left the villa, Jiao Zizai secretly put a listening device in a very hidden corner. So, he had heard most of the conversation in the villa just now. When a man is about to die, his words are kind. I guess it's true. Jiao Zizai exhaled a mouthful of smoke. He did not expect that this matter would end up like this in the end. They had worked hard and put in a lot of effort. In the end, the other party did not want to do that at all. How ironic. I didn't expect our President Zhang to have so much illegal information, Jiao Zizai said with a smile. What should we do? Continue to monitor? Monitor and see where Ale went. They want to eat hot pot. You know, President Zhang is now a wanted criminal in Dao. Let's go. The two of them followed Ale. As expected, they saw him find a high-end hot pot restaurant nearby and reserve a seat. The two of them waited in the car next to them. After a while, Zhang Wei came, but he had changed his clothes. Did he change his appearance? He is wanted in the city. If he changed his appearance, he would die. The two of them entered the hot pot restaurant and ordered a lot of dishes and a bottle of good wine. Ale did not continue to persuade them. Instead, he took the initiative to pour a glass of wine for Zhang Wei. Oh, I haven't drunk for many years. Zhang Wei sighed. Come on, let me toast you. Ale raised his glass and said. Come on. Zhang Wei smiled and took a sip of wine. Let's eat. The hot pot was steaming hot. The cut mutton was cooked in a short time. It was dipped in the hot pot sauce. The taste was very delicious. Well, it's delicious. Ah, look at them eating so happily. Why don't we have hot pot tonight? Jia Zizai asked. What about them? No need to watch them. They are eating. It's too uncomfortable to watch them secretly. Let's go. Humei smiled and started the car. She left and went to the city. She found a famous hot pot restaurant and ordered a lot of dishes. Would you like to drink something? Of course, Jiazizai said. His face was filled with a comfortable smile. This matter is over just like that? It's over, Wang Yao said. Why do I feel that it's a bit anticlimactic? How do you want it to end? Humei rolled her eyes at him. Saber light and sword shadows, a hail of bullets, a massacre. Jia Zizai said. He had really thought about it. He had even planned for himself to be seriously injured or die. In the end, he did not expect such a calm result. It was really surprising. Why does life always give us unexpected surprises? He took a sip of wine. It's really a surprise. Humei sighed. As the saying goes, happiness came too suddenly, and he was caught off guard. This is a good thing. Have a drink. Don't worry. Let's wait. I'm still worried, Jia Zizai said after taking a sip of wine. What are you worried about? Who knows if what he said is true or not? It should be true. How do you know? A woman's intuition. Here it comes again. Jia Zizai smiled and drank the wine in his glass. In fact, he also felt that the other party's words were very credible, but he was still not at ease with his past behavior. Well, you think so much when eating. Can't you learn from Mr. Zhang and be more open-minded? He is a dying man, but to be honest, my mood has suddenly become a lot more relaxed because of his words. Drink. Drink. On Nanshan Hill in the mountain village, Wang Yao stood quietly on the hill. He hadn't come back for a day, and Nanshan Hill had grown by more than 10 centimeters. He was like a teenager who had entered the growth period. His height was increasing rapidly. His growth was somewhat unreasonable. Is it the effect of this battle array or something else? San Xian, do you think the mountain is changing? Woof. Yes, I know. The next morning, the sun rose as usual. The weather suddenly became much cooler. Wang Yao waited on Dongshan Hill. After a while, Zhong Luchuan came up from the foot of the mountain. Sir, is your body moving? Zhong Luchuan asked. Yes. Chapter 807. The master and apprentice practiced boxing on the mountain. They did the same movements, but they were not fast. Every move was very clear. There seemed to be nothing new about it. Wang Yao's movements looked more natural. Some of Zhong Liuchuan's moves felt a little stiff. It was like the feeling of frustration when changing gears in a car. It was not as smooth. However, it only lasted for a short period of time. Continue. After practicing 2 rounds of boxing, Wang Yao stopped and stood to the side to watch Zhong Luchuan practice. After Zhong Luchuan finished practicing, Wang Yao pointed out a few shortcomings. Then, Zhong Luchuan continued to practice a set of boxing 10 times. Well, let's call it a day. Thank you, sir. Let's go down the mountain together. The two of them went down the mountain together. At the foot of Dongshan Mountain, the trees they had just planted grew green leaves in violation of the laws of nature. Sir, this mountain is very magical, Zhong Luchuan said with a smile. It's already autumn. The trees are sprouting new buds, and the insects are constantly chirping. Well, is it because the spirit is richer? In fact, on Nanshan Hill, the trees were evergreen all year round. This situation could be seen in some places in the south, but in a typical northern city like Lianshan County, it was very unusual. Let's go. The two of them went down the mountain. Zhong Luchuan went home. Wang Yao's clinic opened. At noon that day, Sun Yunxing came to the mountain village from Dao. After the apprenticeship in Dao last time, he had come specifically to learn. Master, You don't have to call me that, Wang Yao said with a smile. I don't feel very comfortable. Then, I'll call you sir like my brother, Sun Yunxing said. Okay, Wang Yao said. While they were talking, a patient came in to see Wang Yao. Wait a moment. Sure, please. Sun Yunxing sat quietly and watched Wang Yao treat the patient. The patient's illness was relatively easy to treat. He had sprained his waist while working in the field. After Wang Yao massaged him a few times, he felt less pain in his waist. Go back and have a good rest, Wang Yao said. Try not to work in the field for a few days. Hey, there are still a lot of peanuts in the field. All farmers knew that harvesting peanuts was quite tiring. Most people wouldn't be able to stand it if they had to lower their heads, bend down, and stand up again. You can ask others for help. Your health is more important. Wang Yao had met the people in the lower village several times and had some impression of them. Therefore, he persuaded him. Yes, I know, the middle-aged man said. Although he said that, when he returned, he still had to work in the field. In this year, how could he make money from farming? It was just a few acres of peanut. After the patient left, Wang Yao called Zhong Luchuan over. Sir. Senior apprentice brother. Bring me to teach him the breathing technique first. All right, come with me. Zhong Luchuan invited Sun Yunxing to his home and taught him the breathing and expiration method that Wang Yao had taught him not long ago. Although Sun Yunxing had also learned Kung Fu and was a very traditional Kung Fu disciple, he often ran around the business field. He was more systematic than Zhong Luchuan, but he was not as skilled as Zhong Luchuan. Moreover, it was difficult for him to calm down. At the beginning of the method, he needed to calm down to master it quickly. Calm down, Zhong Luchuan said. During this time, as his practice became more and more profound, his kung fu of keeping qi was getting better and better. He practiced every day and recited Taoist scriptures. His practice was improving almost every day. Senior apprentice brother, let me think about it first. Sun Yunxing, who was always unable to reach the threshold, simply stopped practicing. All right. He took a few deep breaths, then went to the side and closed his eyes to think. The door creaked open. Wang Yao came in from outside. Sir. Sir. How is it? Wang Yao asked. I'm always trying to get the hang of it, Sun Yunxing said. Don't worry, take your time, Wang Yao said. He then guided Sun Yunxing. Seeing that he was a little anxious, he gently patted him on the shoulder. Haste makes waste, Wang Yao said. Your mind must be calm. This is practicing, not charging. You can't rush it. Okay. Sun Yunxing nodded. In the afternoon, he couldn't find the method. Will you stay here tonight? Wang Yao asked. Yes, I plan to stay here, Sun Yunxing said. Then think about it carefully. Don't worry, Wang Yao said. Let's have dinner together tonight. Ask how to join us. Yes, sir. After leaving Zhong Liuchuan's home, Sun Yunxing went to his residence. Hao and two other accompanying people had already cleaned up the room. Sir, how did you learn? Not good. Sun Yunxing shook his head. Brother Hao, sir taught me a set of breathing techniques in the afternoon, but I didn't get the hang of it. What do you think is going on? Breathing techniques. Yes, sorry, I can't give you this. I know, sir, you don't have to be so polite, Hao said. These breathing techniques were equivalent to the internal strength cultivation methods in martial arts novels. They were the secret books of the sect, and were not easily taught to outsiders. What did sir say? Wang Yao asked. He didn't say anything, just that practice can't be rushed, Sun Yunxing said. Senior said that my heart is not calm enough. It should be in this regard, Wang Yao said. You have been in contact with too many things during this period, and you have been running back and forth for the past 2 days. It is inevitable that your mind will be tired. Rest for a day. Maybe the effect will be better tomorrow. Well, I hope so, Wang Yao said. Sir invited you to dinner tonight. Would you like to come? Okay. The place to eat was the small restaurant in the village. Hey, the dishes here are better than those in the big restaurants, Sun Yunxing said. They were all delicacies, so they were naturally healthy. You are used to eating big fish and big meat, Wang Yao said with a smile. You will feel different when you eat these. How many days are you going to stay here? Sun Yunxing asked. A week. Well, communicate more with your senior this week, Wang Yao said. Lu Chuan, you should also take care of him. Yes, sir. Teaching people is also a form of practice. Wang Yao said, when I'm explaining to you, I'll have more insights about cultivation in my mind. It's equivalent to reviewing what I've learned in the past and learning new things by reviewing the old. While he was eating, his phone rang. Hello, brother. It was Su Zhixing on the other end of the phone. Is it convenient to talk? Wang Yao asked. Yes, go ahead. Can you come out and join our army? Su Zhixing asked. Is someone injured? Wang Yao asked. Yes, it is another team, Su Zhixing said. They went to the border again and fought with that force. Several soldiers were sacrificed. 2 were seriously injured and are being treated. Wang Yao was silent for a while. I'll arrange it. I'll go over tomorrow. Okay, thank you. He hung up the phone and returned to his room. Yunxing, I'm sorry. I have to go to southern Yunnan tomorrow. Sun Yunxing had made a special trip to be apprenticed to Wang Yao, but he had to go out because of an urgent matter. If you have something to do, don't hesitate to do it, Sun Yunxing hurriedly said. I can ask my brother if I have any questions. Well, Lu Chuan will have to trouble you. Don't worry, sir, Sun Yunxing said. Well, I'm afraid I won't be back for 10 days or half a month, Sun Yunxing said. I'll have to trouble you with the things in the village and on the mountain. Yes. After eating and drinking, the 4 of them slowly walked back. Wang Yao looked up at the sky from time to time. This trip to the south was going to be a bit troublesome. Sir, are you going to a house call? Sun Yunxing asked. Yes, my brother called, Wang Yao said. I should go and help. In the army? Sun Yunxing asked. Yes. Wang Yao nodded. You should go, Sun Yunxing said. Don't think about practice after you go back, Wang Yao said before leaving. Have a good sleep. Get up early tomorrow and come to the mountain with Lu Chuan. Oh, I see, sir, Sun Yunxing said. They went back to their respective places. Wang Yao went up the mountain alone. After returning to the room, Sun Yunxing said to Hao, Sir, it seems that you are going to see the princess of the Su family. The man, who was usually very quiet, did not immediately speak. He bowed his head and thought about something. What are you thinking about? Sun Yunxing asked. Sir, I'll say something, Hao said. Don't treat me like an outsider. Say it, we are family, Sun Yunxing said. Chapter 808. If you follow Mr. Wang to practice, you should put aside other things and concentrate on it, Hao said. Yes, I'm not focused enough. I can't help but think about other things when I practice the breathing method taught by Mr. Wang, Sun Yunxing said. He knew it himself, but he couldn't help it. You are now Mr. Wang's disciple. You have to think from the position of a disciple, not from the position of the Sun family. This is very important. To put it simply, you can't be utilitarian. Sun Yunxing pondered for a long time after listening. Well, Hao, what you said is very reasonable, Sun Yunxing said. I always consider things from the interests of the family, even when Mr. Wang is my disciple. What I value is Mr. Wang's superb medical skills and amazing connections behind him, not a pure friendship. I'm too utilitarian. It was inevitable for people to be utilitarian. The world was bustling for profit, and the world was bustling for profit. Everyone had utilitarian thoughts, but the weight was different. In today's materialistic society, most people were more utilitarian. They would rather cry in a BMW than laugh in the back seat of a bicycle. This was a typical example. Friendship and friendship had become mutual use. Even friendship and kinship had changed. There was no helping it. Society was a big divat. If you wanted to stay out of it, how difficult would that be? Especially for a big family like the Sun family, there were too many things involved. Sun Yunxing carried too many things on his back. It was actually very difficult for him to abandon his utilitarian heart and concentrate on cultivation. I'll try my best, Sun Yunxing said. The night was getting late. On Nanshan Hill, the fire was burning again. He would set off for southern Yunnan the next day. Wang Yao was going to brew some medicine overnight to be convenient for use. Detoxification powder, regather soup, and muscle revitalization powder. In one night, he had prepared 3 kinds of decoctions. He had also brought enough herbs with him so that he could brew the decoctions in the army. It was not until 3 o'clock in the morning that Wang Yao turned off the lights and went to sleep. San Xian, I'm going out for a while. I'll leave it to you. Wang Yao stroked San Xian. Woof, woof, woof. San Xian barked a few times. Well, okay. Great hero, please. The goshawk standing on the treetop flapped its wings a few times. He went down the mountain and informed his family. Going out again? Yes, it may take a longer time this time, about 10 days to half a month. You and my father will have to take care of the things on the mountain. Got it. Remember what I told you when we went up the mountain? I've set up an array on the mountain. If you really forget, just call San Xian and ask him to bring you in. Wang Yao reminded them. He had already told his parents about the formation on the mountain. He had also told them the way in and out, as well as the solution to any problems they encountered. He had told them more than once, and had even taken them in and out a few times. There shouldn't be any problem. We've all remembered it. Oh, that's good. If there's anything else, you can look for Luchuan. I've already told him. All right, be careful on the road. Got it. Don't forget that your sister is getting married on the 1st of October. You must come back then. I'll keep it in mind. Wang Yao took a taxi to Dao and took a plane south. He changed cars twice on the way. He arrived at the place Su Zhixing had mentioned at about 8 p.m., which was a military camp in a ravine. Welcome, welcome, a warm welcome. Su Zhixing and Mu Qingzhou, whom he had met in Jing last time, came to the military camp to greet him. Where are the injured soldiers? Su Zhixing asked. They're all in the army hospital, Su Zhixing said. When shall we go? Su Zhixing asked. Anytime, Mu Qingzhou said. Let's prepare dinner, Su Zhixing said. Shall we go after dinner? Su Zhixing asked. Let's see the patients first, Mu Qingzhou said. Okay, I'll arrange it right away, Mu Qingzhou said. They took a military helicopter. They set off directly from the army camp and flew straight to the military hospital in the dark. Taking a helicopter in the dark, especially a military helicopter, was definitely a treatment that ordinary people could not enjoy. After about an hour, they arrived at the Field Force Hospital. This is it. The medical staff, who had received the news, had been waiting there for a long time. There were 3 seriously injured soldiers. One had a gunshot wound. 2 gunshots had hit the abdomen. One had a knife wound that was highly toxic. The other one was the most special. He had been poisoned. Give each of them 1 pill. Wang Yao took out a white porcelain bottle that contained the 9 herbs pill. Okay. Although the medical staff were very cooperative, they couldn't hide their surprise, or rather, they didn't seem to want to hide it at all. So young. Is this the person we've been waiting for? They had received orders that a very special doctor would come tonight to treat the 3 severely injured soldiers who had just withdrawn from the front lines. They were told to cooperate fully, but they did not expect that the person who came was actually so young. Dr. Wang, take the medicine, the medical staff member said. Okay, Wang Yao said. Next, he began to treat the poisoned warrior. The first person he treated was the poisoned warrior. Detoxification was difficult for the medical staff because it was an unknown toxin. It was relatively easy for him. Where is the antidote I made for you last time? Why didn't you give it to him? Wang Yao suddenly remembered that Su Zhixing had taken the antidote from him last time. Well, it's all used up, Su Zhixing said. Used up? How could it be so fast? Wang Yao was stunned. That was 2 bottles of medicine, not 2 bottles of cola. How could it be used up so quickly? We once entered the miasma during a performance, Su Zhixing said. The poisoning was very serious. At that time, both bottles of medicine were used up. There was still a little left, so we gave it to him to save his life. He is so talented, Wang Yao thought. Okay, I see. Wang Yao took out the antidote that he had made in advance and gave it to him. Wait a minute. Let's go to the other soldier. After staying at the soldier's bedside for a while to make sure his pulse was not dangerous, Wang Yao got up and went to the other soldier. The gunshot wound was very serious to the internal organs. You all go out, Wang Yao said. What? Several medical staff members were stunned. Let's go out. Mu Qingzhou took the lead and went out. Wang Yao was the only one left in the ward. What? Why is he so mysterious? A nurse muttered in a low voice. The attending doctor did not say anything. He could see that both Mu Qingzhou and Su Zhixing had a lot of trust in the young man, which was unusual. The wound in the abdomen had been treated, but the damage to the internal organs could not be made up by existing means. Wang Yao took out the intermittent ointment from the system's grid. This kind of injury could only be repaired with this kind of medicine. He took out a small spoonful of the intermittent ointment and applied it evenly to the patient's wound. The ointment was very magical. It was absorbed into the wound at a speed visible to the naked eye. Then, she bandaged his wound again. He stayed in the ward for nearly an hour. Judging from the soldier's pulse, his life was not in danger for the time being. He then pushed open the door of the ward. Next, the doctors there had some ways to deal with the first 2 soldiers, but they had no way to deal with the 3rd soldier's condition. He had been infected with a poisonous insect. This was the first time they had come into contact with such a thing. If they had not seen it with their own eyes, no one would have believed that it was real and not something made up in novels and movies. This was the easiest problem for Wang Yao to solve. A leaf of miasma grass was enough. It was an absolutely poisonous insect. It was all poisonous insects. Can you all go out for a while? Are you going out again? The medical staff went out. Wang Yao used half a leaf of miasma grass as medicine and gave him some regather soup. He was afraid that the miasma grass would be too strong, so he neutralized it a little. Okay. 3 patients and 4 kinds of medicine. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Nights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.